Machine? No, not at all. That's right, people. Click and subscribe to YouTube. Maybe some money. Good. Good thing. How do you?
Are you ready to explore the unknown? Dive into the world of the strange, mysterious, and unexplained with Eerie Expeditions magazine. Each issue is packed with spine-tingling tales, cutting-edge paranormal investigations, and exclusive insights into hauntings, cryptids, UFOs, and more. Whether you're a seasoned investigator or just love a good ghost story, Eerie Expeditions magazine has something for you. Join our growing community of truth seekers and adventure lovers. Subscribe today at EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com and unlock the secrets of the supernatural. Are you ready? That's EerieExpeditionsMagazine.com, where the
Welcome to Negotiating Happiness, the show that helps you find happiness, success, and balance in your work and life. I'm Adriana Fiester, your host for this journey into entrepreneurship and personal growth. We're broadcasting live on 107.7 and 105.3 FM in New Orleans as part of the United Public Radio Network. We explore the latest strategies, insights, and stories from successful entrepreneurs and experts. From managing stress to building a thriving business, we've got you covered.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. We got no relation. I have come, it's cold and losing my control.
This is the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 in the Gulf Coast. UPRN talkradio.com. SOT.
Hi, I'm Brittany Ashley, your host of Breaking Norms Building Dreams, your guide through this transformative journey in both business and life. This is your place crafted for dreamers, doers, or anyone who has been told they can't. Get ready as we challenge those narratives together. You're tuning in live to the United Public Radio Network, airing on 105.3 and 107.7 FM in New Orleans. We are streaming on all the popular platforms every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Join me for a candid and thought-provoking conversation celebrating your unique journey because you are worth it.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
I'm not whistling at the Sasquatch. Get the hell out of here with that. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Authors Quill. I hope everyone's having a great afternoon, great morning, great evening, wherever you are on our big, beautiful blue planet. To my friends over there in Australia, happy Sunday. I hope you're, well, it's getting close to lunchtime over there, so I hope you're having a good day over there and enjoying yourself. And to my friends in Sydney, who I was talking to late last night or early this morning for y'all, I hope everything's going well over there. I mean, the world's a little strange right now, but it seems to be trying to straighten itself out, sort of. To all of our friends in the UK, what is it, about 9:15 over there right now in the evening time? So I hope y'all are having a good time. I know we have a large listening audience in London and Paris and quite a few places through Europe. Actually, in Italy, I believe I'd have to go check for sure. So it's probably about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. over there. It's a time jump between there. Well, no, it used to freak me out because my other show used to end at it would start at midnight in the UK and end at 2 a.m. But if I was talking to people in Italy, my show didn't start there till 4 a.m. Yes. So it's just you got to get used to the time zones and time. Yeah, it's just kind of a strange thing. What and anyway, we're getting ready to get started. So you see John, look how cute he looks over. He's all cute. He's fixing to be in Germany, people. I should send Linda with him because at least she knows how to speak German fluently. She was over there for years and years.
I know how to eat German food fluently.
Yes, well, German food is pretty good. So it's not bad. I got some good food there. Denise, no, my wife was a military brat. Her dad was stationed there for about 10 years, or about 7 years. Oh, she speaks, because she went to school there. She speaks really good German. I mess with her all the time. What the hell is that guy saying? What's that guy saying? Watching these stupid movies, and I'm like, translate, woman, translate. But it's Germany's a different place. They're a little, John won't be able to post while he's there because they might put his ass in jail. But other than that, no, Carly. Germany has cracked down hard on social media. I mean, hard. They've been confiscating phones, taking computers, putting people in jail. They were going the route that our last president was going before we got a new president. England was going that way, but for some reason, it looks like England's going to change their minds. I don't ask me, man. Europe is as fickle as we are. Is all I can tell you. But they like this show. They listen to this show a lot. They think John and I are cute, so that's always a big plus. And so I want to welcome everyone to Authors Quill. And I hope you're having a good day. I see our guest Zach's down there. Hey, Zach, we're going to bring you up in just a minute. And he looks good. He's cute too, man. We got a bunch of good-looking people around today. What's that, Stephanie? We always have good-looking people. I agree with you on that. We always have good-looking people. What can I say? What can I say? All of our illustrators and authors are very, very handsome and beautiful. Well, except when Carmen's here. He's kind of scary. Not just kidding. Oh, bite me, Gene. You're lucky I'm on this show because I would have used other language. Yes. I don't know. I should take that picture down, but I'm not going to. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jane's talking about a picture that was taken of me last year at the gala event, standing between Carmen and Fred. Okay, now I'm 6 foot. These guys, they're like a foot and a half taller than me. I look like the dwarf from Dungeons and Dragons or something. Or from what was that series? No, really, man, you're gonna see the picture. I look like I'm freaking this tall. Y'all know I'm not. It's anyway. It is what it is. Y'all go take a look at it and see what you think. No, I don't take down ugly pictures. It's just part of life. Oh no, what are them people? The TV people? They found the ugliest, funkiest picture they could find of me and put that up on the internet. What can you do, man? What can you do? I'm not going to sue. What are you drinking, man? Hey, no wine on the job now, man.
I love those electrolytes.
See, I'm drinking iced tea.
I'm drinking electrolytes in my water.
Electrolytes are bad for you, man. It's only good for young people. Us older people can't have that kind of stuff.
Speak for yourself.
Hey, Heidi, how you doing, sweetie? It's anyway. No, I'm still wound up from last night, so y'all just better watch out. Let me bring our young gentleman up here. Hey, Zach, how you doing, man?
Hey, Joe. Great, good to be here. Hi, John.
Hello, Zach.
John,
nice to meet you. At least almost fully.
I'm the sweet one. He's the one you got to watch out for.
That's right. I'll be careful.
He is something else, man. Whoo, man. Plus, he got Lurch works for him, so you got to be double careful. So,
wow, Joe, you're going to be. You better be stepping really lightly when you come out here in April.
Why? Carmen owes me dinner, man. That's why I'm on. No, Jack.
So now, Zach, you're north of Salt Lake City, right?
Yeah, that's right. About a half hour north.
Yeah, because I was just there 2 weeks ago for FanX, and then my brother lives in Idaho, so I drove right by. I could have waved and said, "Hey, Zach," as I was driving by there on 15 going north. You're going up to Idaho.
How far are you from Moab?
A ways. Moab's way down south, where all the vegetation hides. Yeah.
I know it's kind of weird because I know when we were coming through Colorado, it was like we were at Colorado and then all of a sudden we went in Moab and
Yeah.
it wasn't even a
south
freaking
and east
sign,
most.
man. Yeah, it was weird. We were just cruising along and it said, "Welcome to Moab, Utah." I was like, I looked over at the old lady. I said, "Did you see a sign? Welcome to Utah anywhere?" But I will tell you this. I do like it's very pretty up there. And I noticed where the road from Moab connects to the top of interstate up there. What is it, 85 through there? The cops don't even look at you. I mean, I was doing 95. I went by this cop to stay true at 95. His car does this. He didn't even look up from his paperwork.
Well, that's because you weren't speeding in Utah. 10 above the limit is like move over.
I know I do like driving through there. It's kind of like West Texas. They just let you fly out there. They don't care. Yeah. The cop. Matter of fact, we were doing 100 going in West Texas, and Trooper came up behind us and flashed his lights, went around, waved at us.
Like, move over, you're going too slow. Yeah.
They don't want to give you now down here. Your ass goes 5 miles over the speed limit, you're getting a ticket. It's unless you're a tourist, then they probably won't give you a ticket. They'll just say, "Hey, don't speed." But if you're local, you're getting a ticket for sure.
If you get off the highway, it's different. Yeah. But yeah, on I-15 or the main highways, it's pretty fast.
But I mean, it's a beautiful territory in Utah. I've been top to bottom of it now, so it's really pretty out there. I go out there every now and then. About once every 2 years, I go lecture out there, and each time it seems to be somewhere different. We went a couple of years back. We went to this town. I don't know why I can't remember the name of it. We did an outdoor concert. They had one of those big inflatable screens, so you could do everything outside. It was beautiful out there. Some little town, but it had to be close.
Inflatable screen.
Yeah, like a video screen. So they had a projector, and the screen inflates. It was like 250 inches. It was a monster thing.
I've never heard of that before. Wow.
Yeah. So you just inflate it, you turn your projector on, you watch it outdoors. It's great. And then when you're doing your lecture, you're standing in front of the screen. So whatever you're doing behind you, or if you're bringing a display or something with you, or some kind of, where you're showing different clips, you can put them up on the screen.
Is it a real projector that just goes from the backside, projects on it?
No, it's a front side projector. It's like a movie screen projector. It projects out and projects onto the screen. And it's actually first time I ever done one like that. It was most interesting. Outside, the weather was fabulous. A little chilly at night, but the weather was really nice. But it's got to be somewhere near the southern, because we went down to Area 51, and it was like an hour, 20-minute drive or something. So I know it's 90 miles out of Vegas to get to Area 51, because I've been there before. But coming out of Utah we passed through some ghost town because we stopped off in this ghost town. Because we had some paranormal people with us. They wanted to go walk through all these abandoned places and buildings, some railroad town. And then we left there and just kept heading straight down. And eventually we found some blacktop road we took a left on and kept going. Actually, we took a left on a gravel road, kept going, and it turned into a blacktop road, which turned into the gate of Area 51, which was 25, maybe 15 minutes out of Rachel, Nevada. Because we stopped to get something to eat. I don't know. It's the whole bottom of your state is weird. That's all I can tell you. There's strange people down there. But I love Utah. It's got to be one of the most beautiful skies in the country by far.
Yeah, and tons of variety. I'm originally from Idaho, actually, John. You mentioned Idaho.
Well, it's beautiful up there too.
You get down south in the Four Corners area, there's so much, Native American history and just amazing stuff. And yeah, the variety. And then you get up north and you've got the beautiful fall colors in the mountains, and the varieties is just crazy.
I enjoy that. Every time I go, I always have a good time. Somebody always tells me, "Be careful of the Mormons." I'm like, they don't ever bother me. How you doing? That's about it. The only thing that's weird that nothing goes on Sunday. I'm not used to that. Everything goes on down here on Sunday. So
just don't leave your car anymore. Don't leave your car unlocked, because someone will put some Jello in it, and you've been vandalized.
Oh, jeez.
Loaf of bread. Be careful. It's rough around here.
Yeah, down here they'll be taking your steering wheels. Well, not where I live right now. I live on the Gulf Coast right now. It's really quiet and peaceful here. But I'm from New Orleans, so it's not quite as peaceful down there. Let's just be nice and say about it. So anyway, Zach, how did you get into writing? I mean, was you a kid and said, let me write something? Did mom say, "Why don't you shut up, go in a room and write something, leave me alone"?
She probably did, but I doubt I listened. No, I grew up in tiny Idaho, this just the most beautiful place you could grow up. I thought at the time, Manan, Idaho, which is kind of middle of sagebrush nowhere, sagebrush potato fields,
I
and
was just
read.
there near the gorge, Snake River Gorge. There, I
Oh yeah,
was where Evil Knievel did his jump. So I was just my brother lives there, and so we were there for a couple of days. It was just absolutely gorgeous. So how's that compared to where you were?
Similar. So the Snake River was about 100 yards in front of my house. You could hear it anytime in the yard. You can hear the water rushing. And backyard was some extinct volcanoes. So for
Yeah,
a kid who liked to explore, it was just heaven.
I
And all
guess so.
kinds
Yeah,
of.
this is Kimberly. That's where I was with my
Oh,
brother.
Kimberly's gorgeous. Yeah,
Yeah,
I've been to Kimberly.
yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of. We'd had a flood when I was a year old, so I don't remember the flood, but all kinds of abandoned houses that had never been torn down to explore, and just a really cool place. And when I wasn't stuck in my room reading, because that was me most of the time, just me and a bunch of other hoodlum guys just exploring and BMX bikes and
Hoodlum
just a,
guys, you look so hoodlum.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
please.
We had a gang. No,
We
pretty
took the
mild.
Jello out of the cars once it was put in.
That's right.
We were
We
the
put
bad
the
of the
shredded
bad.
carrots. We put the shredded carrots in the Jello, so people would
Oh,
really
okay.
regret it. No, just a beautiful place to grow. But I read a lot, and I loved reading, but I never really got into writing. I remember having this conversation with a friend in a karate class. My dad built houses and was a karate teacher, because everyone has two jobs in rural places, right? You don't do one thing, you do two things.
Right.
Hardworking guy. So, and we were having this argument about whether you could make a living as a writer. So it must have been kind of in the back of my mind. And he said, nobody can do that. There's only one guy in the world, and that's Stephen King. And so I read some more Stephen King. So I'm like, okay, check this out. But I didn't really get into writing seriously till I was doing my master's degree. I'm a band teacher, junior high band teacher. So I'm doing my degree in music, and jazz has always been a passion of mine. And so my thesis is on jazz instruction. That wound up being a book published by the National Association for Music Education, which was great. Several people read it, maybe three, not counting my mom, but really good experience. And I kind of rediscovered how much I liked writing. The subject matter was something I was passionate about, but I didn't really want to write a lot of nonfiction. But that's when I really started reading again. In those college years, I kind of dropped out of reading as much as I used to, because life is busy. Started reading a lot and writing a lot, and started entering Writers of the Future pretty early on, and losing a lot. But
how many times did you enter?
I never kept track. I think I have 15 honorable mentions, and so it's probably about 20 times. And I wasn't real consistent. It was like, if I had an idea that was a novel, I would see it through as a novel, and if it was a short story, it would get sent to Writers of the Future.
Yeah.
And yeah, it
Your
was
record was
always
47.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't get that record.
Yeah. But anyway,
Yes,
that's
I
great.
know.
So,
But you're in the average.
you write because I didn't read your story. So do you read? I mean, do you write dark fantasy? Because you were talking about Stephen King, or what's your gig?
Well, it's a great question. So the first novel I wrote was really like a middle grade thing, and I had a local publisher really interested in it. We had a meeting and shook hands, and then some things happened, and they didn't go through it. They said, "Well, it's a little dark for middle grade, though." And so what I'm writing now is more adult. Not that it's super edgy, but to me, it's just, if you're going to address dark subject matter and dark people, sometimes the reality is showing the consequences of what that leads to. So what I'm doing now, and I'll tell you, I had a really great week a few months ago, but I signed with an agent and found out I had won Writers of the Future all the same week.
Wow,
so
that's pretty cool.
It was amazing. After years of writing, I finally found some people who wanted to read what I wrote. That was fun.
That's good, because you're talking about like writing dark stuff. Because this week's podcast is Becca Gardner, and we talk about, she writes children and YA, and how you deal with conflict and violence and force in those, because it's different. You can't kill somebody. The heavy violence is off screen, and you see somebody that's really bad gets caught out, and they're just kind of like moved to the side. They're not like vanquished. You got to be different with kids' books. You can't do that heavy stuff, because it has the wrong effect on a younger person.
Sure. And I don't like reading just personally things that are really gory or really graphic.
Yeah.
So my writing, boy, I really admire if you talk about like film, Alfred Hitchcock, where he has the scariest movies, but then you realize he didn't really show anything. It's just the characters' reactions and the
Suspense,
emotion
heavy
and
suspense.
suspense. Absolutely. And so that's what I aspire to, I think, is that real human emotion without slapping you with a lot of graphic details. So it rings true without making you feel sick.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the hope. And I write a lot of different stuff. A lot of the stuff I write is very humorous. My Writers of the Future story is a little more serious, but I have a story coming out in analog coming up.
Oh,
It's
congratulations.
humorous. Yeah. So that was fun. It's been a really fun few months since the Writers of the Future thing happened. Yeah.
Wow. The
So I'm kind of all
floodgates are
over the place.
opening.
Yeah. It's been
That's
great.
way cool.
So anyway, I was going to say, I signed my agent, Joshua Bilmus, at Jabberwocky, and we had been meeting a little bit before that. But I sent him the story and I didn't tell him what it was. And I was thinking of it as a YA fantasy. And he said, well, this is adult horror. I thought, what? It's adult horror. I said, yeah, it's adult horror. And so that's where we're marketing.
Absolutely. I'm glad you got that.
I'm surprised as anybody, but yeah, it does have a lot of that suspense, and there are some dark consequences to the fantastical things going on. So we'll see where it goes.
So we'll have you as a guest next year at FanX in Salt Lake. You'll be one of the guest pros. And then are you able to travel, or are you like bound with your school teaching or because we just over Labor Day weekend, we have Dragon Con. And that's where we had almost 30 winners there. And
oh, that's amazing.
They come from all over the place to be part of it, because we get pro badges for them, and they come in, and we have the artists and the writers and judges. It's a big deal. Then we started this year, we had our first annual winter dinner. And so that was a lot of fun. We had, I don't know, a little over 20 people that were able to make it to the dinner. It was just a lot of fun, that group that you get to make, because it's all about helping the writer and the artist, and also helping winners to actually make it to the next level up, and then at some point, because several of our judges were winners in the past, because we've been now 42 years, and it's amazing just how much, people want to like take an opportunity to help pay forward to the next generation of readers, realizing that you're not competition, you're
right.
You're a teammate.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that part of it. I enjoy being around other writers a lot. Up to this point, it's been like, well, this is something that is taking away from my job, like from being a responsible human. But now the great thing is that with hopefully a viable second career in the option, now this is part of being a responsible human.
Yeah.
So I'm looking. No, it is, and it's a great opportunity. I'm really looking forward to those things being kind of on the other side of it.
Yeah, and when you come to Los Angeles in April, you will meet, Orson Scott Card, Larry Niven, Tim Powers, Kevin Anderson, just some of the biggest names in science fiction and fantasy who'll be there to one, teach you, but also to cheer you on.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so for anyone who doesn't know, Writers of the Future, the contest, there's a cash prize, which is very generous from L. Robert Hubbard and his estate. But for me, the real prize is that workshop, to go and learn from the great professionals, and then also to have my work published in the Writers of the Future anthology. Like those are the things that are really exciting.
And we've already gotten 2 gold awards for last year's volume, and we'll be getting more. And it's just so well respected, because it's, after 4 decades, it is the gold standard for short fiction. And it's for middle school, and it's there we go. There's volume 41, and it's the judges are amazing. That's Craig Elliott that did that painting.
Yeah.
And
speaking of judges, we talked a little about my writing journey, but several years ago, it's been about 8 years ago, I did a local writing conference for a week and got to work with Dave Wolverton.
Yeah.
Which was a marvelous experience. And I don't think it was the first time I'd heard of the contest, but he looks at some of my writing, and he said, "You need to enter this contest." He said, "You'll probably win." And so it took a while, But the book that I currently have on submission with my agent is a book that an early draft that Dave looked at that conference, and so it's kind of a really cool full circle moment, and a lot of gratitude to him
Yeah.
for being
He
encouraging.
he was nicknamed the story doctor, and he helped so many writers. He was definitely, we lost him way too soon. I was on the phone with him up to like 2 days before his passing, and it was very unfortunate. But we've got, Scott Card. That's his favorite thing. He loves supporting the contest. He's been, I don't know, 40 years now with it. And then we got Brandon Sanderson. Just saw him a couple weeks ago at FanX, and some just amazingly cool people.
So one of the great things about living in Utah is just being in proximity to some of those great writers. I actually took Brandon's class about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought I would commute because he allows, I wasn't at the time a student at BYU, but he allows kind of community people to apply for the class and come in, and it was COVID. So it wound up being online. I thought, well, I've got a free class last period. I could drive down to Provo and still make it just barely, but I wound up doing it online, and that was marvelous. And I mean, he didn't see any of the stories I'm working on for Writers of the Future, but he was super supportive and also effectively critical, right? Didn't pull any punches about here's what's lacking in your storytelling, which was just hugely helpful. And so, yeah, a lot of Writers of the Future influence has nudged me along here. So,
yeah, I was a guest lecturer at his class once. That was the day that I saw him afterwards, and I said, I would like you to be a judge. Oh, I can't do that. So I just kept on saying, he says, because he went an honorable mention, and he started talking about what the contest had done for him, because he was like very frustrated as a writer. And then when he got an honorable mention, it was like, okay, maybe there is something to it. So then a few months later, he sold his first novel and obviously hasn't looked back.
Yeah. Yeah, and Brandon introduced me to his agent, and that's kind of how those things started rolling for me too. Those honorable mentions for me, I'm not someone who hangs a lot of certificates on the wall, but I always ask for the certificate because I get the email that's a little boost, like, you're on the right track, keep going. And then a few weeks later, I get another reminder in the mail, hey, don't forget to keep working on this. And so it's been just a lot of encouragement through that. It's been wonderful.
It's important. When we started doing the honorable mentions, the certificates and whatnot, because it got to the point where we had so many entries, and there's only 3 people a quarter that will win. So we started doing we always had the finalists, but then it had the semifinalists and finalists, and then honorable mention, silver honorable mention. And if you get hit, when you hit honorable mention, you're in the top 10 percentile. And editors know that. And so now I quite frequently I'll see press releases of writers who come out with their books, their works, and they say they won honorable mention with Writers of the Future. It's not anymore. It's not a reject. It's like it's a level that you win. So it's how it's flipped over onto that stuff. And for those of you who don't know what it is, Writers of the Future, you go to writersofthefuture.com. You can enter the writing contest or the art contest. It's free to enter. The judging is blind, so all the judges ever see is your story or the art and a number. So I have no idea of your nationality, your ethnic, your age, sex, anything. It's just, is it a good story? And then when you win, we find out where you're from. We've had winners from 52 different countries. And then the contest, which is funded by Mr. Hubbard, which is why it's free. It flies you out from wherever you are in the world. And we're here in Hollywood. So this year looks like we're going to be staying at the Roosevelt Hotel. And then, cause it's between the Roosevelt and the Lowe's Hotel, but they got into a bit of a bidding war to see who could get us. Cause it's a big event. And so, and then we have the awards gala at a Hollywood event where we'll have 20, 30 media will attend to interview the winners, and we'll have it's referred to as the Oscars of science fiction and fantasy because it's just so fancy. So anyway, it's great. And so definitely look forward to meeting when you're there. Do you attend Life Universe and everything or Superstars?
I've never been. It falls on just on a very busy for a band director. It's like the same week I have stuff. So every year I like check out who's down there. I'm like, oh, I've got to go. I've never been. So I will be differently responsible and make a trip down next time. I wanted to say two things about the contest, if you don't mind. One other thing about those honorable mentions is it's a little bit of a calling card, but I think it's more of a connection. Like it's been interesting to meet other writers. And when you find out you both have entered Writers of the Future, you're both honorable mention, there is that connection like, okay, you get it. Like, you know what we're trying to do and you take it seriously. And that's been a cool thing to notice too. And as I've shared that with other writers, just kind of like welcoming him into this. And I don't post on the forum, but I do look at the forum. And the camaraderie there is really cool. And then the other thing that you might mention later is that in the anthology, the only rights that Writers of the Future keeps is the anthology, and we get to shop that around. So
we encourage you. I'll give you various places to send your stuff.
And so I'm really blessed that Writers of the Future story at the moment is getting some Hollywood attention, and definitely nothing final, but that's fine. Like, and they kind of asked twice, "Are you sure you've got all the rights?" Like, yeah, all the rights are ours to do with what we want.
Yeah.
So that's another
we just
very
want to
generous thing.
But otherwise, that's it.
Yep.
And then we'll make it the audiobook too, which is good. And then Joe's going to promote you all over the place with his shows.
We're going to do a lot of promoting. I'm also going to show you how to stay away from the bad press or how to deal with it, because it's impossible to stay away from it.
Right.
It's but
anyway,
I mean, all the pressure you're going to meet at Writers of the Future is going to be pro press. They're all going to be there because of y'all. So you're not going to have any. There shouldn't be any negative anything. So, I mean, I've been there. I've gone to 6 of these, seven groups, 6 of these, and for the most part, everybody has a good time. It's intense. I ain't gonna lie. There's a lot going on, and it's nonstop all day long. You're gonna get up. You're not gonna stop till you go to bed. It's great. I mean, lobby con, bar con, whatever you want to call it, you're going to get a lot of time in with judges outside of the course, outside of the class. They love answering questions. I don't know why they do, but they love answering questions. So, I mean, and I tell this to everybody every year. If you see a judge and for whatever reason you may be a little leery about approaching, just if you see me, say, "Hey, Joe, I'll walk right up and introduce you, no problem." The judges already know me, so they're used to my aggravating self. So
his charm, his lovely charm.
I just walk up and say, "This is such and such." They would just want to ask you a question, and they'll answer. You're the designated wingman of the convention. Yeah, I just want to make sure all of y'all are taken care of properly. And poor John had to put up a lot of shit when he first met me, but it's so far after 7 groups, I have to say they're exactly what they say they are. There's been no surprises, knock on wood. I don't jinx myself.
But he's still looking and anticipating one of these days.
I'm always looking. No, I mean,
it's going to open up, and there comes a skeleton.
As a media and reporter, I'm always looking, and I'm not the only one. But the thing about it is you go, you're going to meet everybody. You're going to get up in the morning, have a little snack, go to the class. Everybody's great. Tim Powers, him and Jody are great to listen to together. They're a lot of fun. They don't always agree, which is even better. I will tell you this for sure. All the judges, by the time you're done, you're not going to just have one view of which way to go. You're going to have several. So you can say, what's going to fit my personality the best? And then you have that information in front of you. And it's not just about writing. It's about the business end, how to make money, what you should do, what you should do, how to deal with all kind of stuff, and how to properly write a story. Like the 24-hour story. That's great. I love that day. I get so many good shots of people's faces. Like, it's great. And if they're at the Roosevelt, I'm even going to get better shots because the Roosevelt has a mezzanine, so I can get up on top while everybody's down in the lobby with the Zoom, with the Zoom on this one, and just sit there. Shh. I get the hair hanging out your nose for once. So it's great. Nobody has no idea they're being watched. I mean, I always show the pictures before I post them because I don't want anybody to look at bad light. But in the end, every judge is there for you. That's what they're there for. They're not there for any other reason. If you ask them, and I trust me, I've asked them on more than one occasion, "What the hell are you doing here?" And I'm way nicer to y'all than I am to the judges.
And I'm just like, what are you doing here? Why do you do this? Why are you here every year? What do you get out of this? And you know what answer I always get? I'm paying it forward. It is almost 90% of the time that's the answer I'm going to get. They feel to need to help y'all, which in today's world, I hate to say, is more rare than it used to be. So seeing it is great. So I mean, just always feel free to ask questions. All of them love for you to ask questions. Don't get offended if somebody says something, maybe you should try this or do that or do this, because they are there to make sure that you come out. We want to see everybody works there. Everybody, whether it's author services, John and the group, all of the judges, including the rest of us, all of us want to see y'all make it. Everybody does, and they're going to do everything they can to help you get to that point. That's literally what they're there for. And I was freaking amazed. I mean, don't get me wrong. I've worked a lot of contests over the years, and I was freaking amazed by these people. First off, the amount of work they put in is phenomenal. But the way they treat everybody, I just haven't seen that. I'm not used to that. Most of the time when I attend places like this, there's always some kind of drama going on, some kind of controversy, or it's never what it says it is. Oh, you need to give us money in order to get into the prize money. None of that shit's going on. There's none of that. The fact that they're willing just to fly you out there and put you up in Hollywood Boulevard is amazing to me in the first place. I'd say get a ride down here, people. You won the prize, get your ass down here. That's not how they do it. So they're really good people. It was one of the more pleasant surprises I've had in my life in the last 20 years or so. So I was very, very happy to meet him. And
he's obviously made it through the culture shock of coming here, because he came the first time expected to be, rotted around and shown the right places. And no, you didn't go over there, you go over here. And then he met Sarah, and Sarah said, "What are you doing?" Put him to work. Okay, you need to build this book display. Okay, I need your help over here doing this. I said, what the heck?
Whatever you do, don't stand around when she's around. Jesus. I'm like, I don't even know you. She said, go here, go do this for me. I'm like, damn, she's bossy. But in all fairness, because I had told John the first time I came down, I wanted complete access. And they gave me not just complete access, but I'm over at Authors Services. These girls don't know me from Bean. All they know is I'm some crazy guy from New Orleans. I walk up, I ask them a question. Not only did they have, there's no, it's a bam. I'm like, did you rehearse this? No, bam, bam, bam. Everybody I talked to, when I asked them a question, I was answered. That's another thing I wasn't used to at one of these conferences. Usually there's always some, maybe, let me think about it kind of stuff going on, which just irritates the hell out of me. So these people that's what they're there for. You're going to love when you get to see Author Service. It's a beautiful office. Got a lot of great stuff in it. There's a lot to see too. And don't forget, you're in Hollywood. So when you do have free time, you're in Hollywood. So you can be Hollywood, man. Get yourself.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward
before?
to it. I've been to LA several times, but I've not really explored Hollywood for Hollywood.
Yeah, it's unfortunately it's not like Utah. It's interesting in Salt Lake City.
That's a plus and a minus.
Well, being here, Utah is a plus. Even if your minus part of it's a plus from here. So going there after FanX, which has 40,000 people a day there, just all over the Salt Palace. And then I took a picture of it the day after. The streets were all clean. Everything was pristine. It's like, wow. LA is never like that, even on its best of days. It's just the streets in Hollywood Boulevard are disgustingly messed up. You've got all the people on the druggies that are with their fentanyl. They're bent over, they're shooting up. You find every now and then you see the ambulance coming to, take somebody to the morgue, and all the crap and urination. And it's just like, that's Hollywood and Los Angeles. And then you go there in Salt Lake City, kind of go, wow, what a difference. There's definite problems there. I know there's homeless. I know that's the crack capital of the world. At least it was. But you take a look at the area and it just stays really nice. And 10 years ago, I couldn't find any place to eat on Sunday, but now that's no longer a scene. But it's a beautiful town, and there's a lot of growth happening there. You've got Salt Lake City and Provo are both blue, and the rest of the state is red. But to me, it's like very pristine. I know there's whatever the handling is for the Salton Sea as it's continuing to shrink. I don't know what the handling
Right.
is on that's being worked out, because it adds to that smell that will sometimes waft around. But otherwise, it's just, I think it's beautiful, and just the controlled growth of Salt Lake City is very much to be admired.
I mean, I don't think it's horrible or nothing. I mean, I've been to LA, well, 6-7 times with these guys. I've been to LA altogether about probably 26, 27 times. And when I was stationed in the Navy, we used to go down there from San Diego regularly. But in all fairness to LA, at least the parts I've been, I've never had any real trouble, which I say that out loud.
Yeah.
Especially where the Roosevelt is, everybody seems to be really nice. The only thing that you're gonna see, they do smoke a lot of pot on Hollywood Boulevard. So if you're allergic or something like that, beware. But other than that, I mean, nobody bothered me. What got me is nobody even asked me for money. Nobody tried to panhandle me. I was surprised. And I was walking up and down Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, but you get hot dog, hot dog, hot dog.
Well, you do get that. Now, and by the way, them sausages they make at night are pretty damn good. You probably shouldn't eat them.
No matter what they have in them.
But they're good. We stopped and got a couple one night. But
there's like an inverse correlation to how healthy is it and how good does it taste.
Exactly.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
How healthy it is.
Definitely inverse.
But
definitely inverse.
But I mean, everybody was really nice, and I'll tell you this: we were in some restaurants and some clubs, and when everybody found out what we were there for and what we were doing, and that we weren't local, everybody was extremely nice. I was there with one Australian and two Brits, and we went clubbing, and we didn't pay for a drink all night, not one. I walked up, I went to go order drinks. I told the bartender, I said, "Hey, I'm from New Orleans, blah blah blah." And I said, "This guy," so I said, "That was it. We never paid for another drink." That was it. Everywhere we went, I told them that they were buying us drinks all night. And then we went to one club, everybody had to be dressed in black, which was weird because all but one of us was dressed in black. Like I said, I had a good experience and nobody's really bothered me. Of course, I am a big, ugly guy, so it looks like I might rip your head off your shoulders. But for the most part, now I'm not saying go wander around in certain neighborhoods, because when you drive in from the airport, there's a couple of bad neighborhoods you pass through. What kills me is there's a couple of good neighborhoods you pass through, but it's just all homeless the whole length of the street on both sides. I'm telling you now, homeless people, don't try that stuff down here. Okay, we're not gonna let you in our front yard. I'm just gonna be honest with you. It will let our Corsos loose or our Rottweilers or something.
Yeah,
we'll move and somewhere else. But other than that,
I'm just curious now with Zach. Now you're a band teacher, because my dad was a band teacher for a high school in Kansas where I grew up. And I used
band
to
was huge
there.
back in Kansas in the day. Band was huge. That's a big deal.
Yeah. So he did that, and he worked himself through college. Either he knew how to play an instrument or he was able to fake it effectively, so he could work all of his different gigs to be able to pay his way through school. And he was a music teacher, and all of his friends were music teachers, and they had so much fun. They were just so always the life of the party, and knew all the fun stories and all the great band stories and stuff like that. And he played in the symphony, but he also just loved, working with kids, and leading the band.
It's anytime you work with people, it's frustrating, but it's a great way to go through life. I have just the nicest students. They drive me crazy, but they're the nicest kids that I think you could find. And it's a really, what a blessing to go through life making music and writing books.
It's great.
Yeah.
So do you have your students, you do a thing like with All-State and stuff like that, and All-State band and whatnot, that type of stuff?
We do. That's still coming up this year. We have our school district's pretty big. That's an amazing lightsaber, by the way.
We give them away every Christmas. So listen,
nice.
You're not a member of the station, so you can win one.
I'll be distracted by that lightsaber every time it comes on. No, we have 18. I teach junior high, middle school. We have 18 middle schools in our districts, and we just announced the honor band, and so a lot of my kids are just so excited they get to go be part of that, and All-State coming up, and it's great to see that light come on in their eyes.
All-State yourself?
I've helped off and on with it, and had my own kids in it. I'm not directly involved this year.
Yeah,
you should apply to New Orleans. I don't know what the age limit is, but they bring bands in from all around the country to go for Mardi Gras. They get out there and march through the city for Mardi Gras. What amazes me is, I mean, most parade routes are anywhere from 3 to 10 miles. They get out there, just march their little happy brains out, having a great time. I do notice though, because I one of the schools I used to help with, we'd always put people on the outside next, especially if they were younger girls. We'd always have guys standing out on the outside, just to keep the distance between them and the parade goers. There's rarely ever any trouble doing Mardi Gras. If there is, it's probably going to be on Bourbon Street. But as far as parade routes, there'll be 2 million people smushed up against each other. The only time there might be a problem is when somebody throws a coconut, which they're not supposed to do anymore. You're supposed to hand them, but they still throw them, which could start World War III if it goes bouncing around in the crowd or something. Other than that, I mean, it's great. I mean, there's a band sometimes every other float, sometimes every float. There's a band behind.
Yeah, those trips have serious budgets connected with them.
Well, so there's a
for the school.
There's a group that actually helps schools, because we actually have one that comes out from Kansas every year. There's actually a group that helps schools to get out of it. As long as the band's ranked a certain place, they'll pay to bring them down. And they'll usually bring them down, and they'll usually set them up in 3 or 4 parades. Have them down, let them go around, see the city, get to know the city a little bit.
Well, New Orleans is such an amazing music city too. Like so much.
Well, they love their music, that's for sure, and that's one of the reasons why there's so many bands represented, and then New Orleans sends bands all around the planet. But music's a big thing down here, so they include it in every parade, and they love bringing in people. I guarantee you, there'll be 100 bands here next year from probably 30 or 40 states. Hell, they had one in from Hawaii last year. And I don't even know what the hell they were playing. I didn't even recognize music. Usually I can recognize what they're playing. I don't know what this Hawaiian thing is, but probably something from Hawaii. But still, it's a lot of fun. It's a good education for kids. They get to meet a lot of people. And the hardest part really probably is just making sure you have the right amount of escorts, because it's not a huge city, but it's not a little city either. It's got a big suburb to it, so it's easy to go wandering around and get lost. But there is a saving grace in New Orleans. On one side, it's bordered by the river. The other side, it's bordered by the lake. And on each other side, there's a canal. So technically, New Orleans is an island. So if you get lost, you can only go so far before you run into water. Once you hit the water, you know where you are. You can find your way back.
That's like the great thing about Utah is there's mountains in the east, so you really can't get that lost. You can always tell where north is and kind of find your way.
It does make it easy, and and at no point does it ever get wider than I think 7 miles from the river to the lake. So you're never really outside of that boundary. Yeah, most people don't realize. People ask me all the time, "Well, it's not an island." I said, "Oh yeah, actually it is. It's an island." I said, "We just don't like to talk about it. Technically, it's an island soup bowl is what it is, because we built big 30-foot levees around it now. So you got this number going on." I was there when it flooded for Katrina. It was the worst it got was 22 feet deep. Most of the places it was anywhere from 8 to 12 feet deep. And somehow or another, my townhouse only got this much water in it. My neighbors, houses were lower, got about 3 foot of water in it. So
wow.
Now the house I live in today. So I'm right now, technically I'm 12 feet off the ground where I'm at right now. You can't see my ceilings, but they're 12 foot tall. The water was actually as tall as the ceiling where I'm sitting right now. That's how deep it was. It's a weird place to live. So, so now you're going to be out in LA. You're going to have a lot of fun. You're going to get to meet everybody. One of the nice things about coming on the second time Carmen brings on, and even tonight we'll have one of the other winners on, but later in the year, or I should say early next year, you'll start bringing y'all in sets of 4s. So you can start meeting all of the people who are going to be there with you. It's kind of like a warm-up to meet.
Well, you meet a fellow winner today.
Yeah, you'll meet a fellow winner today, and then you'll meet 3 more, and then so that you'll already know about 4 before you get there. You'll have an idea, and like I was saying, Kirby, I was actually going to say something about the 24-hour story. Just nice to stop it with yourself. Pal talk can be a pain in the ass. So the 24-hour story is great. They give you 24 hours. You write a story, then they take our stories and they throw them down the stairs. Whatever 2 stories stick, that's the ones they analyze. It's fun to watch, and it is fun to watch y'all, and it's so weird because some of the writers, I'm done. I'm not kidding, just I'm done. I'm like, you're done. It's only been 2 hours. I'm done. Wow. They're like, you want to read? I said, no, I don't want to read. because everybody always says who's going to win. I quit doing that after my third year because I never did. So I do predict, but not one time have I got it right. I'm like, God, this is great art. She's definitely going to win that. So I love this story. It's and there are stories. Now, I haven't seen this year's book, but there are stories that stick in your mind even after 7 years. There's still stories that I have read from the beginning that still stick in my mind. And I don't know why, just particular stories. It's like the postman. What is it? The taxman. What's the name of that book, John?
Definitely Taxman.
The taxman goes right there.
Okay.
It's David Hankins who wrote it. And
Yeah.
the story stuck with me for some reason. It is.
And he's written 2 novels off of that since then. He's turned into a universe. So he's got the 3rd book he's working on that comes out next year.
So, and it's an interesting story. Listen, there was one particular story where this little girl was hiding a monster in her bedroom. They were monster hunters, but she was hiding one in her bedroom. But for some reason, it just stuck with me. There's other stories besides that. They just, I don't know, they get in my head and they stay there. But what's nice about it is John sends me the book fairly early. So I read the book. Then I read the book on the airplane. And then while I'm doing interviews in LA, I'm reading the book again just to keep it fresh in my head. Because with the illustrators are easy. It's just a picture, so that pretty much stays in my head. But when I'm reading authors, because there are 12, sometimes 14 stories in the book, and I like to refresh myself because when I'm talking to you, I like to know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, this is something artwork people, since I said something about it, I'll just isn't this, which one is this? One of these was the winner. Wasn't this the winner last year?
No, turn the page.
Turn the page. Okay. Who was the winner?
That's for Karma Birds. I just finished reading that one, the whole anthology, not too long ago. It's great.
Yeah. Well, they were just on.
The grand prize winner is this one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah, because it's next to the red hair. I should remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That girl with the red hair just stands out so much.
Yeah, Mariana Mester. She's from Kazakhstan. She's from, where is she from? She's from.
Plus, you get to meet all the illustrators, because as you become a good author, you're going to need somebody to do illustrations for you. And I do bitch at the illustrators more than I do at y'all, because I'm like, guys, y'all make great covers, and I go buy the book, and I'm like, I want to slap the illustrator.
Yeah, Mariana Mester. She's from Hungary. She is from Hungary. We had to buy her the kind of earbuds that would hook into her and translate, because she didn't speak English.
Oh wow!
We've had winners from 52 countries.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna bring mine with me this year just to have them around. I was at where was I? I was at a Target. This guy, yap. I reached in my pocket and I said, "Hey, put this in your ear so I can understand what you're saying." And he's saying, "Oh," and he starts talking and whatever. The damn translate thing just starts translating. I start talking back to him, and he's looking at me like, "Is this magic?" I'm thinking, "No, dude, this is technology."
Yeah,
but
we have a winner from Ecuador again this year, so.
Well, it's good to have around. I mean, they work well. I mean, they're not perfect, but they work well. And besides, it keeps me from doing like I did in DC a few years ago. They had 2 guys from Africa talking, in whatever language they were talking in. And I walked up, got in between them. I said, "You do know some of us understand what you're saying. I've never seen black guys blush like that in my entire life." I mean, they turned almost because they didn't know if I was telling the truth. And I just pushed it out because I was laughing, and I pushed in between them. I said, "You do know some of us know what you're saying, right?" they got, I have no idea what they were saying, but whatever it was, they were seriously embarrassed about it. My wife was laughing her butt off. She's like, "What did you tell him?" I said, "I told him I knew what they were saying." She was like, people don't know. He should have said something to me and asked me one of them things. But I mean, there are a lot of good people you're going to get to meet. And so far, I haven't met any of the judges I don't like. I'm sure I've irritated a few of them, but they're all really good people. And like I said before, they want to talk to you. They're just like the rest of us. They just want to see you succeed. All of them would like to say, I know him, or I know her. They came to Writers of the Future, and now they're famous. Besides, we all want our red carpet ticket when y'all get famous anyway. So I can go, Zach,
right.
Zach, get me in, Zach.
There's not much of a line. You're doing good.
Oh, have faith though, man.
That's right.
I mean, there's a lot of good writers, a lot of good illustrators coming out of this group. There's a lot of good judges.
What are you most looking forward to, Zach? So you said the workshop. Anything?
Oh yeah, for
particular?
Sure. Boy, I have my to read list because I want to read something from all of the judges before we get there. I just finished up some of Tim Power's short stories, which were amazing.
Yeah.
So good. So my favorite is like whichever one I'm reading at the moment because they're all really good.
Yeah,
And
he had a
yeah.
nice short story in here.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
My name was Tom, right?
Writes
Yeah.
good stuff. Have you read any of Jody's stuff yet?
Just I think one or two shorts. I need to get some more. Yeah, I've got some like requested from the local library, and I need to just get out my wallet and buy a couple things too.
Yeah.
Jody's a blast to talk to.
Yeah, I just got my editorial letter from Jody, so I'm virtually picking her brain about my own story and tweaking a few things.
She's still, out of all the
amazing
judges I've interviewed, she still has the record on this network for the most listened to YouTube video. I don't know why. I'm not even sure what she said that day. But
well, she's the coordinating judge, so like people are like,
nobody knew that until after the interview. So I was kind of like,
well, I mean, my experience is limited too, but I think like there are people who can write, and then there are also people who can edit, and they're not always the same thing. She seems to have a really great ability to understand what's working and what's not working, and to kind of dissect under the hood a little bit of someone else's story, and that's not always a given, right? We can write in our own voice, but helping someone else get their voice out, I think she's really good at that. So
she is really good at it. She loves what she's doing. She just loves the contest. I remember when I first met them, they came up and
she is great.
Because I said, well, were you interested? And they said, yes, we would love to be in that. And then she fit right in there because she had the same mindset, because we're looking for certain types of stories and certain types of storytellers. We're not into the graphic stuff. It's like PG-13 to PG-17. And you don't need all that stuff to be able to tell a good story. And so she was like that. That's her stories. Her ones is Magic 101 or something like that. She likes humor, fantasy humor, which she does. But she also co-authored with Anne McCaffrey, who was a dear friend. And so that I knew that I had something there with her on that, because I loved Anne so much. And so when she came on board in the days past,
John sent to Ireland.
What's that?
Scotland. I said you sent one of my favorite judges to Ireland or Scotland, wherever the hell he's at. It's isn't that where Todd's at?
Yeah, he went to where his mom was. Yeah, he left for political reasons. So anyway, we don't go
I can
there.
understand. I can understand that. He Todd McCaffrey is hilariously fun to talk to. It's he's how can I say this nicely? Insane. But still,
yeah.
he's
ultra left. He's ultra left.
He is ultra left. I used to listen to him and Dean Wesley Smith. They were doing the first year I was there. They did a course together, and I was sitting in there listening, because I'd listened to several, and then they're talking. And I'm thinking these two SOBs just don't like each other, or something, which they actually do like each other. It's but they don't agree, which was great. I mean, because this was the first time with these people I'd actually heard anybody disagree. And I was like, well, what's going on here? And then Dean says you can do it this way, and Todd said do it this way. And both ways are correct, by the way. It's just not correct for the person.
So that's one thing you get here is you can have lively discussions. It's not like, if you don't think what I think, then I'm going to cancel you. We don't have that at all. There's none of that stuff that happens. So it's like everything goes on terms of what type of a path you choose to follow as a writer or an artist. And so you can discuss. And it's great being able to do that. And it's something it's an anomaly to what happens in real life right now, unfortunately, but they can come in there and people can be whatever and talk, well, I like this. And, you get into discussions on pronouns, and some people are really into.
You'll hear me talk about this many times. I can get away with it because I'm a centrist. But if you're a lefty or a righty and you're selling anything, you don't talk about your politics, because if you do, you just lost half your audience. Unfortunately, J.K. Rowling learned that the hard way. It cost her almost $1 billion. Taylor Swift found out.
So she's down to now she's only down to $3 billion.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's still rich as hell, but I mean, here's Taylor Swift walks into the Dome, and they blew her almost out of the Dome. This year, she set records, but not close. She's not going to make the kind of money she did before, and she can't sell out a conference because she endorsed a president candidate. She didn't know what she was doing. She probably didn't even think nothing about it. But bam, if you're that big and it hurts you, what do you think is going to happen when you're only this big and you say it?
Yeah.
You're going to find yourself really hurting for a chest. I tell people, if you want to do it, it's your right as an American citizen to talk about whatever the hell you want. But if you want to make money, it's best just to stay out of it. I mean, Orson Scott Card found that itself. I mean, it's just, unfortunately, we live in a society today that you have to choose your words carefully, or you could find yourself not. It's not like it's going to put you out of business. It's just going to hurt you because one side's going to say, you know what, I'm not going to buy your stories anymore. And
I think, we talk about just kind of the writing aesthetic, and it's a little rose-colored, I guess, but I think that ideally as a writer, what we're doing is trying to understand the other point of view.
Yeah.
And hopefully along the way, you come to respect and have compassion for people instead of getting more entrenched, right? So it doesn't mean you don't feel strongly about things, but you find a way to navigate that divide, hopefully a little better. I think I see that in the writers of the future judges, right? They're all different, like you say, but
they're all different.
But they're there to be helpful. And anyway,
Yeah,
I'm
the
looking
full
forward
end
to
of the
it.
spectrum. But here we got Brenda. Hello, Brenda.
Hey, Brenda, how you doing?
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Nice colors you got going on there. Wow.
Hey.
Oh, I know. Look at that. Oh, yeah, we are matching. I like that.
That's for the last volume.
Well, Brenda, Zach, Brenda, one of the other author writers, one of the author winners. Sorry,
Brenda, your bookshelf looks much neater than mine. Well done.
Oh,
it's always good to have books around. If y'all were to see the rest of my studio, you'd be like, "Oh my God, what happened? Everything hit it or something?" It is sad. I mean, I got books.
So Brenda's in Bessemer, Alabama.
Yes.
Alabama, you right down the road.
Yes.
I'm
in Mississippi, aren't you?
In Henderson Point, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, I live in a place I shouldn't live because I'm too poor to live here. But shh, don't tell me. Just don't tell them. No, I'll be honest with you. I'm in Alabama very frequently. I tell people all the time because Alabamians are strange creatures, and well, I say that because I live down here. But Alabama is one of the best kept secrets in the United States.
Yes.
Beautiful coast, beautiful mountains, chalets up in the mountains. It snows up there. It's beautiful. You got the Gulf of Mexico down there. Beautiful.
The Gulf of what?
All right, Gulf of America people. Don't write to John. Don't write to me. But anyway,
the Gulf. You have the Gulf.
It's the Gulf. Yeah, we're gonna leave it at that. It's the Gulf. But anyway, you've got all the places down there. It's beautiful down there, and we go to Dolphin Island fairly regularly.
That's my favorite. That's where we go. Yeah.
Yeah, because Dolphin Island's great. It's a nice place to go. The people are extremely friendly, as long as you're from the South. If you're from the North, people stay out of Alabama. Just stay. And they're going to be like, "What are you doing down here? We don't advertise in your part of the country. Don't come down here. Stay away. We don't like your kind." It's really funny because it's probably the only state that has so much to offer that doesn't really advertise outside of the state. Well, I mean, y'all get all the South comes in anyway. Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, everybody's popping into there. Florida Bama is insane. I've never been to Florida Bama, even in the wintertime, it wasn't packed. It's Jeffrey, Florida Bama is where Alabama and Florida meet, and they got a couple of little clubs there and some restaurants and I think a Waffle House or something, and everybody goes in and parties. But if you come into Alabama down the main highway off the interstate, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the Hideout. There's a big club on the beach, and it's a very famous club, and it's on the beach down there. It's huge. The place is just huge. There's a lot of good food down there. You can go eat. A lot of good. You know what? We spend a lot of time in Mississippi and Alabama for literacy reasons. I give away a lot of books in both states because I want people to read. And Alabama is actually better about reading than Mississippi is, but both of them have a long ways to go. So sometimes when we got a lot of extra books, we'll just stop or go out in front of the library and just hand out books. Especially books like these because these got all kind of fantasy and sci-fi and stuff in them. So people love that kind of stuff. They're like, yes, I want them to read. So Brenda, what made you know you were an author? I mean, you just got it one day and said, you know what, I can write a damn book.
Well, I actually have written several books.
See, there you go. I don't know. You
It was the short stories that were the challenge. So I kind of had to relearn skills.
Yeah, I can understand it.
Because I grew up in Huntsville with rockets and all of that, and
I'm jealous.
Not help, but love space.
So you write science fiction? That's your thing. Is
primarily, yes.
Yes, I'm
Near
jealous.
future or far distant space opera? What kind?
Near future, present, and
Oh my God, we're going to be
very
buddies.
speculative.
You've got a new romance brewing right now.
Yes, we're going to be buddies
He
for sure.
loves near future science fiction.
Well, because one, I mean, there's some good stuff out there, but these days it seems to be harder to find anything that's not like 1,000 years in the future, which is great. I mean, I don't have a problem with it, but I like sci-fi that kind of starts on a progressive course that we may actually one day be headed for. It's like, what was the latest one I was watching? Expanse. And Expanse seems to be more along the lines of real sci-fi, but with some real Earth-like. We may actually achieve these goals. So I like that kind of stuff. Or other stuff like Babylon 5 or things like that. And anything that shows us you like Babylon. And Babylon's a good opera, a good space opera. It's a lot of fun to watch. And I remember somebody sent it to me and said, watch season 1. I watched it. I'm like, I don't know about this. He said, well, watch season 2. I was hooked after that. I was like, shit. So now I've got it on Blu-ray and on save on television and things. So I can watch it when I want. But I just near now sci-fi is nice. I mean, Star Trek is great. I'm not hating, but Star Trek's a little bit, a little bit further in the future. What, 300 years or 400 years or so, which is kind of near now, but not exact. So yeah, if you got near now, let me know because I'll go check it out. I'm always interested. What was that one? Altered Carbon. It's also relatively near sci-fi within the next 200 years, but how can I say this politely? If you're easily offended, you don't like drugs or nudity, do not turn it on. Unfortunately, they went this route where half the movie everybody's naked. It's great sci-fi, but I've always had a rule about TNA in any movie in the first 5 minutes. I don't want to watch it after. Well, because usually it turns out to be something else. But in this case, it actually turned out to be quite a good sci-fi. I was even though there was a lot of killing in it, it just the premise of the sci-fi they were using was somebody invented this thing that slides in the back of your neck that records your memories. So when you die, they just put it into a new host body and away you go. But there was a catch to that. If you were poor, you got whatever body was laying around, like some crackhead. Because when they put you in jail, they took your body away from you and just stored your consciousness in jail. And they would give those bodies away, crackheads and all kinds of stuff. It was kind of scary and funny at the same time. But anyway, enough about all of that. So what did you write for? I haven't seen the book yet, but what did you write for Writers of the Future?
Oh, okay. A short story. I don't know. I don't think we're allowed to tell too much.
No, your first, only if you're first place.
Okay. No, a second.
Yeah, see, I'm just curious because I'm sooner or later, John, I'll probably get it in January or sometime, so I'll read it then. But I'm because there's a lot of good stories. I mean, and there have been some pretty good near now sci-fi stories in some of them. I mean, I do find most of them to be fantasy, and which I'm not anti-fantasy, but I do prefer sci-fi, a good strong sci-fi book or. But like I was telling Zach earlier, I know a lot of really good illustrators, and they're no good SOBs sometimes because they do a cover when you see it, you're like, damn, I got to read this book, and then you read the book, you can go smack the illustrator around. It's but I mean, and nowadays I don't get as much time to read, so I don't like wasting my time. And I really try to get as many audiobooks as I can because it's easier. Yeah, I can plug and play, ride, drive, and listen, and do things like that. And now they put y'all on audiobook now, which is nice. It's somebody sent me this one just about a week ago. And then I got, which I'm giving away later this year. Let me show you this little thing that John sent me. Can y'all see that little tiny thing? I guess y'all can, huh? No, you can't. This is Battlefield Earth in an audio book. Look how tiny this thing is. How many hours is
37 or 4
44 or something. It was a lot. I don't have the card next to me. I'd give you a more accurate, but it's a lot. And the amount of sound effects on it is outrageous. I mean, it's actually a lot of fun to listen to. I hate to say this out loud, John, close your ears. This was better than the movie by far. I'm not even gonna lie. I like John Travolta, but this was much better than the movie by far. It was just
books are almost always, for me, books are always better than a movie.
Well, because this actually explains some of the things that the movie just skipped over, and some of the stuff that was in the movie was not actually on this. So that was interesting. And then he gave me the audio book for. Well, anyway, it's usually up there for Mission Earth, which is 10 books. And what the hell? I usually got it right here. But it was great. It was a lot of fun to listen to. The first book was a little slow, but that's more because it was character building. The rest of the series was fabulous. It was a lot of fun to listen to. The characters, the voices were all great. The sound effects were great. It was just a lot of fun. That's another one that's 40 plus hours. It's so you got to have a lot of time on your hands. Clara, you got to have a lot of time on your hands. I play them every year, though. The week before Christmas and the week before New Year's, I play each one of them, along with War of the Worlds and it's another opera I play. And so that people can, you're bored, or if you're Christmas shopping, or you're caroling, or you're cooking and decorating a tree, you can just turn it on and listen to it. It is a lot of fun. And the bad guy is, how can I say this nicely? He's just a sleazy scumbag, no good SOB who will make you laugh every about 10 minutes. It's just insanity. So, you ready to be out in Los Angeles?
Looking forward to it. I've never been west of the Rockies, so this will be fun.
Yeah, that's nice out there. There's a lot of horror stories about LA, but for the most part, I haven't had any problem out there. People have been pretty nice, pretty laid back. The only thing, if you go walking around at night on the weekends, you're gonna get high. But other than that, it's no, I'm not kidding you. Y'all think I'm kidding. So last year we were at the Lowe's. Last 2 years we were. When was Larry Elmore? Was this year before last, huh, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, it was Larry Elmore and Tom Woods and a couple other really famous authors and illustrators and some winners. So we were walking over to Author Services because they wanted to take pictures. They had a bunch of stuff in the windows. So we left the Lowe's. We hit the corner. There were like 10 people in the corner smoking it up. We got to the middle. There's a big party going on. Man, they was passing these things around. We couldn't even get to. Poor Larry, by the time we got to the other side of the crowd, he was high as hell. I was like, "You all right, Larry?" "Yeah, I'm okay." Oh, Dan DeSantis was with us too. So we make the right on the Hollywood Boulevard, and every 8 feet, there's like 5 people just smoking it up. And not one. Each one has their own. So it's like you're walking through a cloud. By the time we got to Authors, all of us were high. Every one of us. We were like, wow.
Anyway, moving on. This is Authors Quill, not like
I just warning them.
No, you like telling that story, and it's just like
because it's fun. It's I just like to tell people. So now the best way to do it, instead of we're going to be at Lowe's, this shit's not going to matter. But now I figured it out. You don't take a right out of Lowe's, you take a left, and you go to next street, take another left, and then you're right there at Author Services, and you don't have to go through all the crowd to get there. It's but the Roosevelt is great. Everybody there is really nice. It's a really nice place. It's the service is really good. They take really good care of you. What is it? 25 degrees. They have pretty good, decent.
Yeah, they have great burgers.
Yeah, they got a good hamburger there. And Carly, it's LA's not as expensive as you think it is. It's expensive. Don't get me wrong, especially if you're living there. But the food's not as horrible as you think it is. It's not any price worse than it is in New Orleans for food. So it's we pay $15 for a po' boy. So that gives you an idea. Nothing's cheap down here. Damn muffalata is almost $30. It's the only difference is we do get Woohoo burgers for about $10 cheaper than they get them in Cali. And matter of fact, while you're out there, when you eat a hamburger, I think that's the only kind of hamburger they have anymore. The Wagyu beef. I don't even think they use it right. But everybody's really nice. All the judges are nice. Like I was telling Zach, if you see a judge and for some reason you get a little nervous to ask him anything, just grab me and say, "Hey, Joe, I'd like to talk to such and such. I'll bring you over, introduce you." And because that's what they're there for. They really and truly want to talk to you. I mean, they go out of their way, and they don't have to come down and hang out the lobby or the bar with everybody, but they do anyway. They all come down after. They'll usually go to dinner, and then everybody's downstairs, and you'll see just groups of us. Just different groups of everybody just gangs up together and starts talking and chatting. And it's different because the classes are great. You're going to learn a lot, but this is a little bit more personal stuff that you can ask that you might not want to ask in front of the whole, everybody in the classroom. So it's a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot of stuff. I got to tell you, I didn't realize how ignorant I was when it came to authors until I spent this time with these guys. I mean, Jesus, I thought I knew a lot about being an author. I didn't know squat. But I've actually managed to write. I write now when I go out there. I usually write like 15 or 20,000 words while I'm out there. When I get home, I just delete it. But still, it still makes sense to me though. I couldn't even write a page before I met these guys. I've been trying to write a book for 2 decades. I actually understand now the actual flow of how a book actually works and how you should start, how you should go, and in a lot of cases you'll hear stuff like. Put the ending first and things like that, which I didn't understand. And I got to thinking about some movies I've seen and it kind of made more sense to me. And they don't mind, again, they don't mind answering questions, even stupid ones, because I've asked some stupid ones. They still don't mind answering them. So, feel free, enjoy the class. The 24-hour story is going to be great. I can't wait to see what y'all stories are. And I don't know what the percentage is, but I know a lot of those stories make it to market afterwards. So what do you think, John? 70%, 60%?
62% of the winners go on to successful careers as either writers or artists.
Yes. Remember,
we get a lot of reviews saying like nothing does more for the future of science fiction and fantasy than writers of the future.
Yeah, and I agree with them. I don't think anything does more. It's just a good way to get into.
And I was just because of the success of writers of the future. I just got a Zoom call yesterday. I've been asked to run the press room for next year's Worldcon in Los Angeles.
Cool.
Which will have a lot of great media on Writers of the Future.
When you're telling people to invite me down, I'm gonna have to go. Hell, sorry, I'm buzzing next to me. It's what's that, Christopher? Yeah, you can come out to Los Angeles. I'm sure they don't mind. You mean where we're at? No, you can't come out by us. I'm sorry. Just keep your little self wherever you're at. Leave us people alone. You got to be a winner, Denise. Yes, you got to be a winner. Or John says if you donate $1 million, he'll send you a ticket. But
Joe says if you donate $1 million. John doesn't say that.
I'm trying to hook John up with some money here, people. Keep this contest around for another couple of decades.
He's trying to compromise me. I just won't do that.
No, I'm trying to get y'all some extra money. Extra money is always a good thing.
Out of the
look, I'll retire. Stay retired. I mean, I know, Chris. They'll put me in a box when I'm.
$1 million to give me a good 3 months worth of rent here in Los Angeles. So there we go.
No, Chris, I'm always picking on John because people are always asking if they can just come and see everybody. And no, it doesn't work that way. This is the first time I've even got him to say what hotel we're staying at before the thing. Usually I don't even know until I get there. Yeah. No, you're not invited. And usually that hotel sold out, so don't even bother.
Yeah.
Now, can any of y'all cha-cha? Because Thursday night they got a cha-cha contest. What? I'm just telling you ahead of time. You're bored. You get cha-cha.
So we've got the inside scoop. We've got time to practice now.
That's right.
There we go.
So look out.
Okay.
Oh, so when y'all do the barbecue this year, John, is it going to be at Author Services? Or is it going to be over at the hotel? You haven't made up your mind yet.
Well, it did really good. It was great when we did Author Services because we set it up in there because we were able to have really high quality the burgers and the dogs, and our guys loved. It gives an opportunity for all of our staff to meet everybody because everybody's so busy with the whole time, all the back and support stuff. This is one opportunity that all the staff and Author Services and Rise of the Future can be there and meet the winners and judges and see them and chat for a few hours. So probably we'll keep it at Author Services again because it works really good. We set up in the over in Hubbard Library, set up all the tables there, and we have on the roof we cook. We barbecue all the burgers and the dogs, and they make all the desserts and stuff like that. So it makes for a really fun evening there that people can do. And then I'll go into the lounge and I'll make coffees because they got a fancy coffee machine.
John makes a wicked coffee too.
Yeah, I like making the coffees. So
$25 a cup. I never said that. No, he gives a coffee away for free. $25 a cup. It's good coffee. I don't know if it's $25 a cup coffee. It's good coffee. No, he's got one of them the monster cappuccino machines.
Yeah,
espresso.
from Italy. That's where we bought it from. I brought it from Italy, so
It's a beautiful machine.
it's an amazing machine.
It does great coffee. No, anytime I'm there, I get a cup of coffee. Oh hell yes! Anytime I'm in there, I harass John for a cup, and if he's not there, I'll harass somebody else. But he makes the best coffee by far. Well, no, because everybody's busy. I mean, everybody is moving. Everybody's got something going on, and yet everybody still has time to talk to everybody else. Don't ask me how to do it. I don't. It's what gets me is how nice because these people would aggravate the hell out of me. So if I had to be in it, because I'm just pressed, nobody bothers me. But if I was working, I'd be like, leave me alone. So if I could see it coming. It's no, everybody at Author Service is just as nice as could be. It's a great group of people, and again, just like everybody else is there, they're there for y'all. They want to see that you have a good time and enjoy yourself and come away learning something, and that's literally what they're there for.
So I'm curious now, Brenda. So how many times did you enter the contest before winning?
I think 4 times.
Okay.
Oh, she wanted the early ones. So you outside the curve. Oh, all right. Well, no.
So then, because it's usually a little bit more that for people to win, but there are
14 to 20 usually somewhere up in there.
Yeah, it gets up there. So what about? So you say you've written novels. So are they published?
No, they are not published.
Okay.
I've actually been looking into self-publishing.
Well, this is a good if you're still looking into it come April, you'll be able to have lots of good conversations with authors that have the do's and don'ts and how to make it happen and what works.
Who you got?
Self-publishing versus indie publishing versus traditional.
Yeah, because you got 3 of them self-published. I know Dean Leslie Smith does. Kevin does too, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, there's 3 or 4 judges.
He does his Dune books are through Tor, and then otherwise he created his own publisher, Wordfire Press. So he then publishes everything else through Wordfire. So I mean, you'll learn a lot there. They'll teach you a lot. They also help you with knowing when where you should be. Like if it's an LLC or anywhere you should be. What's the best way for you to protect yourself and your money. So they talk about that as well. There's just so much information. I tell everybody keep notes because a lot of it's going to be overwhelming when you get there. Because you're with 2 people, then you go, then you take lunch, and then you go to dinner, and then there's always something going on in the evenings. And when there's not, there's always LobbyCon or BarCon. So there's just a lot going on. It's a lot of information to absorb. Just a lot. And so far, everybody I've met personally has had a good time and they've learned a lot. And so what we do is we do these interviews, and then we're going to do sets of 4 interviews, probably starting in January, so everybody gets to know everybody. Then while we're in LA, John and I both are doing interviews while we're there. And then after all of this is done, usually a month or 2 after all this is done, Carmen will invite y'all back on the shows so you can talk about. So you'll end up with from myself, you'll end up with probably 4 to 8 hours worth of material. By the way, you can use any of this stuff. It's all available. It's all public. If you want the video, they're always going to be on YouTube. Because right now you're in television. You're in Roku television with about 45,000 people watching y'all on TV right now. But you're also on YouTube and Rumble and X and Twitter and stuff like that. So we're also on those platforms. We're normally around 4 million people in total watching right now.
Tonight, on our radio side audience, worldwide audience, is going to be right around 4 million people. So, and we do this show is right now around 166 countries it goes to. So, that many people around the world are listening to you right now. These are all people that will, get to hear about your books. And what happens is because, you'll be here 3 or 4 times, it gets reinforced. So then people really have an idea of who you are. So they can go looking for you when they want to. And we do a lot of pushing during the holidays. So your book won't get pushed this year because it isn't out yet. Mm-hmm. This year it's going to be book 41 that's going to be pushed along with, you can see there's a lot of books up there. But and we give away a lot of stuff. And I tell people all the time, when you get a book and you publish one and you know it's coming out, call Carmen or call me, send me a copy of the book. It'll go right here where this one's at. And usually I have the camera on a closer view so people can see it. And then we'll invite you on just to talk about just your book, maybe half an hour, maybe an hour, so people know that your book, and that way you can use that later on. Like if you want to send the clip to somebody or to a media group or something, you can use that as the clip. You don't have to go make one; you'll already have it, and you can take the sections you want and give it to the different press. Because don't be scared of press, because most press is going to be good press. Most press likes authors and illustrators, so there's always going to be some idiot somewhere, but for the most part, you're not going to really have any problem and use it. I mean, there's last time I checked, 3 million podcasts. That's a lot of potential listeners. That's a lot of potential buyers, is what that is. So
Yeah.
don't be hesitant. Once you get comfortable, don't be hesitant to contact people about being on their shows. There's lots of shows like this one that do authors, so you can contact them. There's also places like Coast to Coast. So if you get a particular story, like since you like Near Now Sci-Fi, Coast to Coast actually likes that. So they'll invite you on to talk about your book. Zach, they probably invite you on to anything. As long as it's a good, solid fantasy or sci-fi, a lot of times Coast to Coast will invite you on to talk about your book. And we know how to get directly in to Coast. So Carmen does too. So it's once you get comfortable, you can or you like got a new release. George Norrie's got a full 7 days a week, 4 hours a night, and he uses 2 guests a night now. So it's 14 guests a week he's gonna find. It's a lot. It's a lot. So there's a lot of potential there. It's not just that, because you're going to be like tonight, you're on Roku TV. Next time you see us, you'll be on Roku TV and Fire Stick television. So all of those people are seeing you. Last I checked, Roku has around 196 million subscribers, and I think Fire Stick has around 156 million subscribers. So you're being exposed to all of it. And then we have things where we do pay-per-view stuff for special events and stuff like that. Take advantage of it. That's what we're here for. I want y'all to use the material. We make it. It's not locked. You can download it from any of our platforms. YouTube's a little weird, but you can still download it there. You go to Rumble and download it. Or if you have a problem with a copy, send me an email. I'll send you a copy. But we want y'all to use the material. It's there for y'all, just like they do with their books. They want you. It's your book. It's your material. They want you to have it. It's not. Some of these contests I've worked for don't give you the rights to the material. They keep it. They're like, no, it's ours. You subscribe. And as a matter of fact, what kills me is like, what was the one with the little tiny mouse they used to make you draw? If you read the little fine print underneath it, it actually tells you that the artwork you submit belongs to them afterwards. It's kind of like Facebook. So this is an important thing for illustrators and authors. So if you have a private Facebook page, a personal page, and you post stuff on it, afterwards it belongs to Facebook. They can use it for whatever they want to. It clearly says it in the user agreement. But if you have a business page, they cannot. The business page, it still stays belonging to you. But it's not just Facebook. All social media does that. If you publish on their pages, on a personal page, they can use your pictures and your stuff for anything they want to use, anytime they want to use it. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it either. You can sue them. You're going to lose because it says it in the agreement. I found that one out the hard way. That's why we have so many business pages now. They were using some of our material for stuff. But that's just something to remember, and if you want to sell a lot of books, social media presence helps.
Yeah, for sure. Now I'm just curious. We went with Zach. So Brenda, what are you most looking forward to on coming out to Los Angeles?
Meeting people that I've read their books and huge fan of them, and
anybody particular there? Any of them in particular?
Scott Card.
Scott's great.
Hugh Howey. Just everyone.
Good, yeah.
Scott's one of my favorites because he's a character like me.
Yes. Definitely. Well, that's good, yeah, because they really enjoy being able to meet the next wave of writers, and sometimes they'll take somebody like they'll pull them under their wings and help introduce them to their editors and publishers and stuff. And it's like what happened with you, Zach, with Brandon introducing you to his agent, you said?
His agent, yeah.
So you'll be able to make new relationships there.
They want to help y'all. I still to this day don't know why they want to help y'all, but they do. I mean, other than they want to pay for it. I mean,
Joe.
Come on, this is 2025 we live in. People aren't the most,
Yeah, well,
this used to be an elevator. But they really do. And it amazes me who is it? Which one's got the birthday? Is it Rob Sawyer or Kevin Janis? One of them's got a birthday every year when he's out here. And
Tim Powers.
He brings half the people with him to his damn pizza birthday party. So he's having a birthday party and he's still talking to the winners. I was like, okay, well, that works for me. It's
yeah.
But you never know who else you're gonna meet there. Like what's his name? Pat Henry, what's his name? From Dragon Con. He comes down a lot.
Yeah, Pat Henry, yeah.
Yeah, he comes down. He's great.
He's the CEO of Dragon Con, and he was the keynote speaker, but he presented a Dragon Award 2 years ago. He'll probably come again this year.
John introduced me to him, and then Bill introduced me to him again. Yeah. Oh, Bill's that's Jody's husband, by the way.
Yeah.
And he's great. And then I was having lunch with him, was it last year or the year before? And I said, damn, that tomato soup smells. I got the girl, I was going to order some. And Pat hands me, he said, no, you can have them. I said, I'm not eating your damn soup. It's not going to happen. He insisted. He's an interesting character. And, I can't think of his name from FanX. He's another interesting
Dan
character.
Farr.
Oh, I love his jacket, by the way. Dan's got this jacket with the tunes all on the inside of the lining of his jacket. It's and then John said people from space come. I mean, you just never know who you're going to meet. I've seen actresses and actors from different soap operas there as well. I mean, that's at the gala, but before the gala, you just never know who you're going to meet while you're hanging around. You never know who's going to show up, and just a lot of good people. It's a very relaxed. I hate to say it like this. It's kind of relaxed and intense at the same time. I don't know how else to explain. I mean, because there's a lot going on every day, but it's
relaxed for Joe. Everybody else is intense.
No, it's relaxed for the winners too. I mean, they're intense and they're relaxed at the same time. It's what's that, Carly? Yeah, write a book and you can come. Yeah, well, write a book and win and you can come. How's that?
Exactly, that works.
Well, 17,000 words isn't the easiest, and I don't even. What's the average? Like 6,000 or 7,000 words?
Yeah, 6,000 to 8,000. How long were your stories, Zach and Brenda?
Zach,
I think mine's about 13,000.
Okay,
good.
mine 7 to 8.
Yeah,
that seems to be about the average for some reason.
Yeah, the thing that a person that goes for a longer story, the longer the story, the more opportunity to mess up, to have unnecessary words, to have untrimmed fat. And so while we've had a few stories that won at 17,000, which is the limit, Darcy Stone, who's she was a grand prize winner 5 years or so ago, 6 years. And her story was originally like 30,000 words. So she trimmed it down to 17. So it made it really tight. And so, but if you're 17,000 words and you haven't done any trimming yet, and you say, okay, here's my story, it's going to have a lot of fat in there that needs to be trimmed. And so the longer the story, the more you've got to be really sure that it's lean, mean story machine, so that it starts right away and the story doesn't start on chapter 3. It starts right there on page 1. Which sometimes when you have long stories, there's too much verbiage in there for a short story. Even though 17,000 words technically is not a short story, it's a novelette. Mm-hmm. But that's what you've got there as an opportunity with Writers of the Future. And so we've kept it that since that was the original program that was approved by Owen Hubbard when he was still alive and putting the program together. So we keep everything the same, all the rules the same as when we first launched there. It was announced in 83. The first book was in 85. And so that you guys are in year 42, which is a significant year because number 42 anyway for science fiction is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But it's also the answer to the life, universe, and everything is 42. But it's the year that we hit 1,000 on writers and artists published in Writers of the Future. So we break the 1,000 mark. So I got to figure out what's the proper way to the millennial or whatever it's going to be that we're going to be able to show, the sound off on the fact, because that's pretty impressive that there's been 1,000 people over 42 years that have had that opportunity.
And you're also going to meet other winners who just show up at the contest from time to time. I know April likes to come down. She's an illustrator, but I know she likes to come down. But she's in Cali, so
she'll be definitely there. She's
a dragon lady. Sorry.
Yeah, dragon lady. She's just an amazing artist. She won at DragonCon this year, she won Best in the Show. And then she had 3 awards she won. You know, she was like totally just gaga over the fact that she won that.
And she's an excellent oil painter, so it's one of the reasons I like her. But
yeah,
I mean, it's more than that. You're going to see other people that show up there in past winners and stuff. And you just never know who's going to be around. You know, it's always interesting, the extra people, not the winners, but not the judges and not the winners, but there's always other people around. And of course, like I said, there's the whole staff of Author Services. They're just fabulous, except for Maliva. She's evil, but all the rest of them are fabulous. That Maliva chick, though, you got to watch for her. She is just
Joe.
scary, man. She's like,
Joe,
man, you got to watch out for her. No, I'm just kidding. Maliva's like one of my favorites, but that's why I like to torture her. And she does, besides every other thing that she does, because I didn't realize how much she did until the year before last, because I didn't ask.
And then there's Emily. She produces the gala.
She is one picture-taking fool, man. Jesus. And I like her taking pictures because it's easy for me because she's only this tall. So I can shoot over without ever getting her head in the way, because they were letting Chelsea was taking pictures one year. Chelsea's like 6 foot tall, man. I'm like, Chelsea, you're getting a damn picture every time I take a shot. Get your blonde head out of my way. But she's really good. But I'm only saying that because you're not, after the first day, you'll stop noticing myself and Chelsea. I mean, myself and Maliva, you'll stop noticing this. By the third day, you won't even hear the cameras clicking anymore. And I took 2,200 pictures last year. I can only imagine what Maliva took. She probably took 3 times that. So there's just, there's a lot of pictures we go through, and because we don't want to just put junk shots up. We want y'all to look good. So there's a lot of pictures we go through before we start posting them. And Maliva sends out a lot of copies, and I usually get her to send me a copy or stuff. There's just a lot. Matter of fact, I got some pictures I got to show her this year. I took her last year. You get to torture her good. So, but I'm telling you, I haven't really met anybody that didn't enjoy themselves. It is a little intense, but you're going to learn so much out of it. And the fact that they take their time to discuss more than one way to make it is important to me, because, today's society, our personalities are vastly different. And not everything's going to work. Might work for Zach, might not work for Brenda. What works for Brenda might not work for Zach. Of course, and they both might work for you. You never know what your styles are. But when you start listening to the judges, you'll realize that there's multiple paths to where you're trying to get. And that's really important, because I've noticed some of the winners I've met over the years I've talked to are kind of a little bit scared. They get on one path and they're not really sure. Well, once you get down here, you'll realize if this path isn't moving the way you want it to, there are also alternative paths that you can take, and you can do more than one at one time. That's a really good thing. And again, if you're traveling, I know a lot of people email these judges after the conference is over, after the gala and all's over, and they answer them, which they're still nicer than I am. Jeffrey, you email me and I don't know you. It might take me 3 months to answer your damn email or more, or somebody else might answer it, like Michelle or somebody. So you never know.
Now, one thing I'm curious, so I haven't read your stories because I just got back from 2 back-to-back conferences, and I'm heading tomorrow morning out to Frankfurt. So briefly, then, Brenda, what's your story about?
It's about a hermit who lives in Arkansas, the mountains, and she finds that she is.
Her name's Rumpelstiltskin.
She's the subject of an alien experiment. We'll just say that.
Okay. Oh man, I can see that already. I like this lady, man. Aliens, near now, Jesus. I like Zach just because he's cute, but
Joe.
Yeah,
You know, for an hour and a half, you feel like you can start you're going to go out.
That's another thing I'll tell y'all. So far, out of 7 groups, they've been some good-looking groups, man. I'm when I was getting involved with this, I thought, we're going to get these old smoking people, got cigarette nicotine all over their face and their hands, been sitting in the closet for 3 decades and trying to write a book. That's not the truth, but it's I gotta say, it's been a fabulous group of people. I feel fortunate that I've got to meet so many of the winners, because they've turned out to be a good group of people, and some of them I still stay in touch with. Or in some ways too, they all have accord groups and different stuff. So sometimes, and most of them are on Instagram. So they link my Instagram. So I see stuff coming across all the time. And when I see something good, I'll just hook it to our networks and send it out. The network does 31 to 37 million people a week. So we're a lot. It sounds like a lot, but when you think about it, it's not really. We're talking about 8 billion people in the world. That's not even 1%. So it just sounds like a lot. If it was all in the United States, it might be different, but a lot of it. So people in China are going to hear you. People in right now, there's probably more than 100,000 people listen to you in Beijing and Hong Kong. Amazes me that many of them speak English. We're in Europe, so they're going to be listening to in Europe, and it's late over there right now. So in England, I think what is it, 11 p.m. or something? They're listening to the show, they're enjoying it, and we're like coast to coast in Europe is what we are, because we're early morning or late night over there, and people love to listen to us, especially when we start talking about aliens and stuff. Oh my God, it gets insane. But people listening to us in Australia right now. I was talking to a friend of mine just a few minutes ago in Sydney, listening to us, and he was trying to figure out how he's going to be an author, and I keep telling him to come in the chat room and ask y'all these big chickens. So he won't, but I mean,
now one thing people can do, just to address that one point, writersofthefuture.com. We've got a free online workshop, which a few weeks ago we added 3 more videos to it with Nydia Corfor, Kevin J. Anderson, and Robert J. Sawyer. So now that gives us six judges with videos. And the way we recorded it is like what you see right now, like they're looking straight at you talking. It's not like a conversation that's been recorded. They're actually giving a lesson to you on some aspect of publishing and writing short stories. So it's free to take. And then we also have a forum that you can join, or you can just lurk. Some people just like to lurk and, not have to post in there, but they will be in there and just look and just see what's going on, which is totally fine. And then we also have the podcast, Rise of the Future podcast, which just uploaded episode, I think 349 last night.
It's been available.
So that's on how to write children's books and how to deal with conflict in children's books, which is different than adult books. And then we've got the blog, which has all kinds of amazing articles in there from lots of authors and judges. And there we have some of the earlier blogs are from the judges no longer with us, but some great stuff from, some of the biggest names in science fiction, fantasy history. But I mean, that's what we've got with Rise of the Future. So you're able to join in, and just anything on that page is free. So whatever you want to look through, you can look through the history of the contest, all about the author, or about the creator of the contest, Owen Hubbard, like how he came to create it. Why, you can get some better understanding why it is the most successful competition in the world for aspiring writers, and that it really does level the playing field. And we just get so many amazing reviews. I just got a review that came in a few days ago from Library Journal on the audiobook, saying what a great audio it is. So, it's not that you get used to it. It's just that because we put so much work and so much care into each publication, that's what you get. It does pay off to go the extra mile, which we do. And so there's what you guys have done as winners. The competition is crazy stiff. It's like, my gosh, we never say how many entrants there are, but there's thousands of entries every quarter. To rise up and be in the top 3 is an amazing testament to your quality of writing, and other editors know that. And that's why Tor and Bain and other indies always get a copy of Rise of the Future to take a look and see, who they want to be able to approach as next writers to bring into their stable of writers. So it's pretty amazing, what we've got here, and it just continues to grow. And I'm always amazed too. I can probably count on my hand the number of people that don't have personalities. We'll just leave it with that. Their mom and papa didn't raise them proper about having manners, but 995 have just been like amazing, and they're just really, really good, and So every event we go to, somebody comes, oh yeah, I was in volume 8. Oh yeah, I was in volume 3. I was in volume 12. And they'll come by and say hello at these various conventions we attend. And it's really nice. It's such a wonderful family that you two are now, joining, and we totally welcome with open arms. So this is great.
Joe was talking about some of the pictures they take. That blog is a great spot to check out pictures of the workshop from last year too. I know I've looked there as well.
There's tons of stuff on YouTube too.
Yeah, it's awesome. Then Brenda, I wanted to ask you, if you guys don't mind, about your books. You've written several books, sci-fi. Are they on the short side? Are they epic 500,000 words?
No, they are middle grade and young adult. So some of them, the middle grades are going to be in the 30s. The young adult, anywhere from 60 to 80 and 110. Yeah.
So sci-fi as well?
Sci-fi. One fantasy.
Very cool.
So, we've only got a few minutes to go before the jig's up on this one here. So how does somebody find you, Zach? Or do you have a social presence anywhere?
I am
we're gonna have to
anti-social.
I have
ZachPoulter.com is not yet published, but I'm working on it. So that will be the place. No. But I will.
You have a phone number?
Hey,
nope.
You think you're joking? You think you're joking? I am the last adult on the world who does not carry a smartphone. True story.
The guy that wrote the story ASCII, which was the grand prize winner about the AI.
I could relate. Yeah.
He uses a flip phone. He doesn't have any of those fancy technology stuff. He's not a total Luddite, but he's not. Yeah. He does that stuff. So, what about you, Brenda? Do I have a better chance of finding you on anywhere?
No, I'm kind of in lurker.com right now mode.
One of the nice things about this is there's several of us over there that do a lot of social media, so you'll get to talk to all of us.
Yeah.
And at the end of the thing, there's a couple of us that actually talk about social media as well. And personally, we own 46 social media pages, housing more than 2 million followers. And the reason we do that is because when we're advertising stuff or running stuff, it's a good way. It's a good way to shorten the length of time to get rid of a product or to get a product. You should always have a personal page for yourself. You should always have a business page for your books and whatever else you're going to put out there. And just, it's good to engage and it's good to talk to people. Just, be a little careful right now about what you engage into. It's just anything woke or anything political right now is unfortunately a death spiral.
Yeah.
Maybe
you got to watch this. Whatever you post, if you take something that's like religious or political, you can run into the problem of alienate 50% of a potential audience. And you don't want to do that as an author. You want, because your books and your stories are not political. They're science fiction. You can have whatever message you want to have in there and put it into another alien world or a different time. And so people look and go, oh, that's crazy. It's totally about whatever's happening currently, but they won't know that because it's a different planet, different races.
That's the funny part. You can put any politics you want into your book. Nobody's going to, everybody.
Yeah.
They may not like the way it came out or something, but it's not going to hurt you. But if you personally take a political stance, it's going to hurt you. People, and not just that, it may make people confrontational when you're out places. See, with me, since I'm an equal opportunity hater, most people are scared to confront me when I'm in public because they already know, Joe could be a you-know-what. So they leave me alone. But for friends of mine who have actually come out, and whatever their political views may be, now when you're lecturing or speaking, there'll be somebody in the audience saying, I don't believe you because you're a blinking, you-know-what. And then a third audience gets up and leaves. And you're like, that's all money just walked out the door. It's all potential sales just walked out the door. You're sitting there thinking to yourself, and why did that happen? Well, it's because you said you were whatever. But I only get away with it because I am a centrist and I do hate on both sides. So people are.
And then you want to be something like Larry Correia, who's very much conservative and he's got no qualms about it. He's very strong about his Mormonism and he's very strong about his conservatives and on that right lending. He doesn't care that anybody on the left doesn't buy his books. And he has no problem if they hate him or anything else.
When you sell enough books, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, he
as long as
sells
you're
a lot of
happy, it
books.
doesn't
So,
matter.
and the same thing with, you were talking about J.K. Rowling's. It's like, she's not in it for, she's got her own philosophy that she communicates and stuff. So that somebody say, okay, I'm disconnecting from you. It's like whatever
weird.
for her. It's like it's a whatever thing.
Well, first she heard herself with the conservatives talk about back, and I forgot who it was, Joe Biden, I think. And then she got in trouble because she attacked the liberals for wokeness. So I'm like, Jay, I know you got a lot of money to make, but at the rate you're going, nobody's going to be watching. And then she did the Beast movies, the 3 Beast movies, and they were basically flops. They weren't bad. It wasn't horrible. I watched all 3 of them. I didn't find them to be. I didn't even find them to be politically correct. They were just fun movies to watch. But yet they didn't make the kind of movie as the other ones, as Harry Potter did. So she's kind of like, and she didn't understand it. And then she got on TV just recently and said, I understand what happened now. But like she said, I had more than enough money for me to live for however long. So she said, I still will be strong on my political views. So if you got that kind of money, it doesn't matter. But when you're starting out, it does. It also hurts you because people may invite you on their show, not so much for your book, but to attack your politics. So you always got to be aware that if you put your politics out there, it's a good chance that you may get some jerk or some jerkette, for that matter, invite you on just to talk about your politics. And it's
yeah.
So just
keep
be
wary
about it. But other than that, you can do pretty much whatever you want. It's just those 2 little things I would just stay away from until you get financially secure that you can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah,
that's another reason I can say whatever I want, because I don't give a blank what people think. So.
But for you as writers, you're interested in people liking your stories. So they're going to know what kind of people you are, not just what kind of stories you are, but what kind of people you are. You see Joe there with his Chihuahua, but if you guys,
that's my Queen Corso, but you better watch out. I will send her over to gnaw your toe off.
Those fighting words.
Exactly.
She said, I will gnaw your toe off. Don't mess with me.
Yeah. But Zach, you'll be able to talk about stuff with your marching band, which is a really cool thing. Hear my own stuff here, and as you come up with your books, that's totally cool stuff. And so that kind of stuff can make it good, and you can enjoy that and just build up, decent relationships. And when you come to LA, you're going to have a core of friends that will help support you. But if you're sincere about making this a career, one of the best ways you're going to have of guarantee you're going to sell your next book is to have followers who's tracking with what's happening and know to anticipate it. And that's an important thing.
Yeah. Remember, the more followers you got, the more advertisers you got.
Yeah.
You look for ways to connect, right? Look for ways to connect and not to disconnect, for sure.
Right. Yeah.
And, people don't always mind about political. Usually if you don't say that, nobody's going to ask. And somebody the other day, matter of fact, I was doing a gig in DC, and he asked me about political views. I said, I would rather not discuss that here. I said, you can come listen to me on Friday night, or you can catch me when I'm on a political tour or something. But even then, I didn't, because I was there for a ufology conference. And I'm like, no, I don't really want to get into politics today, because I do a lot of ufology lectures as well. And I try to leave politics and religion out of it as much as I can. That's another dangerous subject, is religion. Yeah. It's people are very funny about what they believe in these days. Of course, it makes my job easier because I can pick on them and they get mad really fast. it just helps my ratings. But for y'all, just be a little careful, but have fun with it. I mean, that's what you're doing it for. I mean, enjoy what you're doing, have fun, enjoy it.
Yeah, and it's been great meeting you
both look like you enjoy writing, so I mean, so that's. I tell people all the time, do what you love, and hopefully you make a lot of money. And that's why I did. I got all kind of degrees. I even got advanced degrees in advanced avionics, electronics. I got a bachelor's in science. You know what I did for a living for 40 years? I owned a construction company. Had nothing to do with any degrees I ever got, and I got a bunch of them. And I really enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. I just retired now, but I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun, made a lot of money. And like I said, I enjoyed doing it. And I do radio and TV because I enjoy doing it. And this just tells you how weird the universe is. I had a guy call me because I used to host an online support group. This was 30 years ago. He said, why don't you come host my radio show, Wake Up USA? I'm like, dude, get out of here. I've never even been on radio. What are you talking about? And the very first show I hosted, I got into a fight with the guest. 2 hours of fighting, the whole first show. So I figured I'm fired. Come on. I figured I'm fired. I got to be. I mean, it was not just a fight. It was knock down, drag out. Let me kill who's going to come out on top kind of thing. And so I'm just waiting for my producer to call me and tell me I'm fired. So he called me the next morning. I'm like, okay, I know I'm fired. He said, fired? It's the best ratings I've ever had, man. He said, I want you to sign on permanently. I was like, what? He said, oh, Joe, you just don't know, man. He said, you sell all kind of records last and people must have been on the phone. God, you got to come hear this. I was, but you just never know what's going to come out of it. But I got faith in you. I can't wait to see you walking down that red carpet. I'll be like, yeah.
I was just imagining all your UFO fans perking up when Brenda was describing her story. They're gonna they're gonna buy volume 42 just for Brenda.
Yeah, so technically I own 2 networks. I own United Public Radio. It really goes on to uprntalkradio.com because we own the UFO Paranormal Radio Network. That was the original 30 years ago was UFO Paranormal Radio. But what happened was, I don't know, about 15 years ago, 18 years ago, I wanted to talk to other than ufologists. Well, asking a politician to come on a network called UFO Paranormal Radio on a show called UFO Undercover, it was not going to happen. It was just, I did get Michio Kaku and Neil deGrasse Tyson and them to come on, but I wanted more serious conversations than just ufology. So slowly but surely, we converted it to United Public Radio, which hurt us because in the listing, if you typed in UFO or paranormal, we were the first top 5 on the first top 5 pages. So by switching over, it actually hurt our ratings for a while. But now I can get politicians on. I can just get everyday people on. Nothing to do with UFO or paranormal. People come on, and this goes for y'all too. So we have several shows on this network that regular guest or guest of this show or other shows are allowed. Like the show that follows this is called The Chat. Anybody who's been on this show or any show on the network's allowed to come hang out with us. They can come get on air if they want to. The chat is how can I say this? It's controlled insanity is what it is. There's no topic. It's all guest orientated topic or listener orientated topic. They get to pick the topics and we all just talk about it. And there'll be a bunch of people in chat rooms, usually a couple of hosts. Sometimes we have 3, 4, 5 hosts, and we just talk about it. And we get into great in depth. We don't always agree. Everybody's friendly with each other, but we don't always agree. I'll be like, you got to be kidding. You really don't believe that. Have you been smoking some shit before you come on the air? They're going to laugh and say, no, Joe, this is how it is. But it's good. It's fun. It's fresh. And it has 5 million listeners. It's the most popular show on this network, and none of us, including my station manager, can figure out why. It was a show that came around by accident, and now it's extremely popular. And it's because you can say whatever you want. Nobody cares. Everybody's just there for fun. And occasionally we do food porn, which before anybody writes to me, it's not real porn, people. Mm-hmm. So a good friend of mine who's a host of this network, Amelia.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to sign off here because I got to get ready. I'm packing, preparing to head out there. Anyway, very nice meeting you, Brenda. Very nice meeting you, Zach. And I look forward to
Thanks,
our
John.
next radio shows, hopefully, but definitely next April.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, he's got to get ready. He's off to Germany, man.
Exactly. And they'll text you for the numbers, Joe.
Yes, and safe travels too. Be sure
Thank you very much.
While you're over there. All right, babe.
Okay, I will.
But,
okay.
But really and truly, we tell people to come join us because it's just one of those shows that, this network is a very strange network. It's not like a normal network. We have every political thing you can think of. We have liberals, we have hardcore lefties, we've got progressives, we've got conservatives, we got nutcase, we got regular Republicans, we got independents, we got centralists, we got a few other things besides that. And then we have, I think, 16 religions represented on the network. Somebody said, I don't understand you, Joe. I said, because I don't want to be bored listening to my own network. I don't need cookie cutters that follow my political views or religious views. That's my views. I can hear that anytime I want. I'm just going to turn on the tape. I want to hear different stuff, and I know my audiences do too. So it makes for much when we do group shows. We get together, and they'll get heated sometimes. There'll be 9 of us. We could be talking about anything, something UFO, politics, paranormal. But everybody knows each other, so it only gets so heated. The conversations are great. The ratings are great. It's like my ghosty friends. I drive them crazy because I always tell them, why do you believe in ghosts? Did you ever stop and think ghosts might just be paranormal bleed. I mean, dimensional bleed through. You know, a real person bleeding through from another dimension. You want to see paranormal people get crazy? Come listen after I say that. they lose their minds, man. No, Joe, no, it's this and this. I said, how do you know that? How do you know it's not a bleed through? I'm like, you don't have to convince me. It makes them crazy, but it's a lot of fun. And like I said, nobody gets really super nasty, and they'll get mad at you, but they'll, you know, it goes away, and we're all doing something else the next day together. But we do allow our regular guests and guests of this particular show to come on and hang out with us and just chat away, because we rarely talk politics on Saturday night. It comes up sometimes, but most of the time we're talking, like, let's say food porn is Emily's a fabulous cook. Amelia's a fabulous cook. And she likes to send me stuff in the middle of shows. Look at this, look at this. I'm like, stop it. You're making me hungry. You're killing me. Just stop sending me pictures of food. So she does it to a bunch of the hosts now. So when we're all together on one channel, we're like, it's Emily sending us food porn again. And then everybody's like, food porn? What is it? Porn? It says people naked with food. I'm like, no, it's just food porn. And then we'll start posting the pictures, you know, on it. Because here, like what we do with the illustrators is when they come in, we put their website with their artwork on the page with us. So they're talking. When y'all get comfortable and get a couple of books out, you let us know. And you have websites that we'll actually have the website on the page up here with us while we're talking, so people can look at it, read it, and go through it, see whatever it is. And if you decide you want to build websites, it's a couple of places that do it. You can do them for free, especially if you only want to do 1 or 2 pages. You don't have to pay anything. And then there's places like what we use, which is Homestead. I think it's $25 a month. It's unlimited everything. You can have as many websites as you want, as much space as you want. We use it because we own 35 websites or something. It's a lot. It's different stuff for different things. But Christopher, tell everybody bye. We're going to get out of here. I got to let these people go. They're probably hungry. Want to go eat lunch or something. In Alabama, she got on the same time I am. So it's 5 o'clock and after it's getting close to dinner time. And Zach out there, what is it out there, Zach? 3 o'clock?
4.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. No, you're thinking about Arizona. Arizona never changes it. Sometimes they're 2 hours behind. Sometimes
That's right.
they're a pain in the ass with that. I'm like, just change time like the rest of us. No, they're not doing it. Kirby, that is true. I don't know if this president's going to do it, but some president sooner or later is going to end the time changes. I just don't know how they're going to end it. Are they going to end it to where we have late suns, or are they going to end it to where we have early suns? Meaning the time, you know. So right now it doesn't get dark down here until almost 9 o'clock. About 8:10 right now because we're getting into fall. But sometimes in the summer it feels like 9 o'clock before it goes out, and then in a couple of weeks, 5:30, it will be dark outside. So I don't know which way they're going to do it. So y'all be sure to come check out Zach and Brenda. They're going to be famous and put out lots of books, and we can get lots of good stuff to read. And Brenda's over here could be doing near now sci-fi. I'll be checking her out all the time. We'll be pimping Zach out. So. Yeah, we go pimp Zach out. We decided not just easy. No, I think both of them are going to be talented. I can't wait to read their stories when they come out, and we get them in. I think it's January. It's either December or January. He sends me what they call a read copy, and so he sends it out to me. I end up giving it away, but that copy goes through hell. So I get it, I read it, then I read it again, then I take it on an airplane and stick it in my computer, my laptop bag, which gets beat up, and I read it. And then it's at the hotel with me, gets tossed around all over the hotel. But it gets read again. And then sometimes people will borrow it from me while I'm at the hotel. And then usually around Christmas, we give it away. Sometimes in the summer, we give them away. And they're usually autographed. That's another thing. They're going to get the autograph, I think 500 copies. Last year was 250, but it's usually 500 copies they have y'all. Y'all get a couple of copies to take with you. The rest of them go to Books A Million and Barnes and Nobles. They sent back signed copies. And when I say signed, I mean, is this one signed? This one signed. So everybody signs their story and everybody signs their artwork. So like right up here, you can see the signature right there. There's a signature right there. And then, of course, everybody signs their artwork, but usually, I don't think this is the one because this isn't my personal copy. Check. Usually in the back of the book, everybody will sign with a little note or something. I keep telling people, don't ask me to sign your book. They're like, why? I said, because my handwriting is atrocious. I mean, it's literally, I can't read the shit. That's why I use voice. That's not in this one. I wanted to show y'all, but you'll see it when you get there. One of the copies is like when we're sitting at LobbyCon or BarCon, we'll be sitting there, and a lot of times we'll have books. Everybody's just passing a book around for everybody else to sign, not put in personal stuff and stuff. Because by this time, this is like day 4 or 5. We've all got to know each other fairly well. We've all been around each other for a little while. And I think y'all going to do great. I think y'all going to have a lot of fun. And don't be scared to ask questions, because really, that's what they want. No, Chris, we got to go. It's past our bedtime. Got another show coming on in 5 minutes. In 40 minutes, I got to host. Yes, I host 2 on Saturday. It's the crazy show where I don't have to do as much work. Yes. It's on at 6. Yeah, just come check it out. No, it's I think it's just me and Jay tonight, if I remember right. Oh, no, we've got November, we got the guy who said he was taken by aliens in Pascagoula, which is in between Brenda and I. We'll see. He'll be on with us. We had the Bitcoin guy on a couple of weeks ago, the #1 trader in Bitcoin. He gave me a headache. Yes, it was too much information. And we bring on different people, different guests for different shows, different things going on all the time. I was going to bring Chuck Schumer on, but I changed my mind. He actually accepted, but I changed my mind. Well, I don't want to bring him on during the shutdown because I'm liable to say something and get me in trouble. I don't want the IRS up and down my what. So I decided we'll leave that one alone until after the shutdown is over. But guys and girls, we got to go. I want to thank Brenda. I want to thank Zach. Y'all were great guests, by the way.
Thank you,
both
Joe.
looking sharp, ready to go. I can't wait to see y'all out in
Cha-cha.
That's right. Now we know I need to prepare for a cha-cha contest.
Learn how to cha-cha.
So the first time I ever went, I'm sitting there, and it was a double year because of COVID, because they were coming back from COVID. So they had missed it. There was actually 48 winners there that year. And so I'm sitting down, and I hear this rumble. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm talking to Tom Wood, who's one of the illustrator judges. And I said, what is it, Tom? So we walk over it. It's a contest. And they just cha-cha away. I'm like, what in on this? It's been a while since I actually danced. I guess I'll give it a try. What the hell? We had a blast. And everybody had a good time. But they changed it around this last year. So the reveal is either going to be Monday or Tuesday. That's when they reveal the artwork for your book. Y'all get to go in. So y'all are illustrators. So the illustrators will be in there waiting. Y'all are authors. So the illustrators will all be standing by the artwork, and then they just let y'all loose to go find your picture. So far, out of 7 groups I've been with, everybody's been able to find their illustrator without any problem. I'm amazed. I gotta be honest. I've read all the stories. I'm thinking, how do they know which one is which? And I guess because I got too many stories in my head, but they've only got their own story, but they always find it. One guy told me one year, he said, I just waited till everybody had found it. And I went, that's the way that works. That works, You didn't embarrass yourself, but that's a lot of fun. And like I said, the 24 hours can be a little bit nerve-wracking. Some people told me that it was like, I wrote it, I threw it away, I wrote it, I tore it up, I wrote it, and then at 5 in the morning, I finally got up and wrote something because the class was at 8:30. I was like, you're kidding, right? And a couple of them told me that, oh, Joe, I thought I had something, I had to tear it up. I'm like, man. He said, no, it was horrible. But I think if I remember the number correctly, it's like 77% of the short stories get sold.
That's amazing.
It is, because it's a 24-hour story. But they do this particular thing to teach y'all that you can do it without all the fuzz buzz. You can just sit down and write a book in 24 hours, 3,000 or 4,000 words, and sell it. And I was like, wow, really? And I don't know why. I think they do that to help y'all to break some of the molds that writers catch themselves in. Because, I got a couple of friends like Nick Redfern. He's got 164 books or 144 books to his credit. But he's a 9 to 5 writer. He gets up Monday morning, walks in, gets his coffee, goes in his office, shuts the door, writes till lunch, gets lunch, goes back, shuts the door, writes till 5, and quits. And he does that Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. And he's a successful writer, but a lot of authors can't do that. They can't just sit. Some authors want to just write whenever they feel like it. And so all authors have different ways they want to write. So this one thing I think is really to show y'all, look, you can sit down and write a story in 24 hours and make money off it. I think that's to help break some of the misconceptions, but they'll explain it much better than that. But don't be scared. Ask lots of questions. I love to see these judges earning their keep. And I love to see when one of the winners stump up with a question. They're look at each other like, what the hell? It's always great. But y'all were in class. It's nice talking to both of y'all. Guys and girls, we're going to get out of here. Remember, this chat will be up in about 40 minutes. I think Jay's going to be opening up the show tonight, and I'll be coming in right after because I'm going to get something to eat. I got to feed the evil demon that was on my chest earlier. Any moans, groans, bitches, or complaints, you know the rules. Write to Michelle DeRoche, courtesy of Michelle DeRoche. Told her Joe sent you. And to Gene, who said they were going to get me fired the other day, you do know I own the network. Michelle's the manager. I'm the owner. So, but you can write to her and tell her I was being mean to you. Anyway, on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to the Authors Quill. Thank you for listening to United Public Radio. And again, I'll see you in 40 minutes. Good night, everybody. Good afternoon, everybody.